Okay. My shit's a little slow today. Let's see if we can fix that. All right. Happy Friday. Welcome in. I'm just trying to. Okay. I'm on the right profile. So let's go to the right one. Nope. It's this one. There we go. All right. Now it says it's live. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Pikachu. Welcome in. Pseudo V Science. Guten Tag. Tilting Windmill. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Alexander Hurst. Happy Friday. It's good to see you, friends. It's always good to see friends. No. So now let's see if I can fix this window real quick. But it's not really cooperating right now. So let's see if we can make it cooperate. Okay. So we go to TikTok chat. We go to... Yeah. Okay. We got it. And then let's see if we can get the avatars to work right. What happened here? Okay, there we go. That's one piece of it. So we have to go this way. All right, hopefully I can make that work. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. So we're going to start with a little bit of deconstruction talk. So we're going to take friendlies, those, and believers who are either curious about or thinking about deconstructing. So we can help you out. I know people really like talking about the deconstruction part, so that's what we're going to do. We'll do that for a little bit, and then we'll switch it up and go the route of talking opposition. Yeah, I was doing other work. Yeah, I do have a job. Contrary to popular belief, but I do have another job, so I had to do that work. And I had to finish that up, and it ran a little long. And deconstructing or just de-curious. There we go. I like that. De-curious. Yes. So if you have deconstructed or are de-curious, let's talk. Deconstruct means you have questioned your beliefs and have completely dismantled your beliefs and re-examined everything. And usually it comes with a change in your beliefs, usually. But sometimes people do deconstruct their beliefs entirely, and then it makes their beliefs even stronger. But those who have deconstructed and have either gone agnostic or atheist, I'd say about 90% of the time that's what happens when you deconstruct. Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, Hip Hop Anonymous, I started a little bit late. I started like maybe, yeah, it hasn't even been 5 minutes. So that might be why. But let's share it out the live. Let's tap the screen so I can get prominent on everyone's FYPs. The deconstruction community scared you? Oh, saved me. I'm sorry. I misread that HLT. I thought that said scared me. And hi to you, HLT. Hello. My eyesight is so bad. I thought that said scared, and I'm like, scared you from possibly reverting to Christianity? Saved me. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. And thanks for the shares. I don't know how to say your name. And Ineki? Yeah, I don't know how to say that, but thanks for the shares. Hail Satan. Let's go. So, and I'm glad, yeah. And I think that's the thing is like most people who do deconstruct. Okay, thank you. You know what? You can correct me one of these days. You can come up here and correct me one of these days. And then you can tell me if I got it right. So, welcome in, friends. Happy Friday. Iniki. What's the origin of the name, if you don't mind me asking? I don't want you to self-dox, so if you don't have to tell me, but I'm just curious because it's pretty fascinating. I'm actually pretty fascinated with people's chosen screen names. It's actually kind of fascinating. The Netherlands, it's a Dutch name. Oh, okay. So then I could do a Google Translate. Let's test Google Translate and let's see if Translate helps us pronounce this name correctly. How about that? That'll be a fun little game. What do you guys think? Do you think we can this Dutch name Ineki? I'm probably butchering it so bad. I'm so sorry. But let's see if Google Translate can correctly pronounce this name. So, Ineke. And translate from Dutch. Okay, it picks it up. So that's good. Okay. Let's see what it says. It says translate from Dutch. So it correctly has Dutch. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right. Let's see what it says. Ineke. Is that it? Ineke. Was that it? Okay, Ineke. Oh, what a nice name. I like that name. I like that. Ineke. That's so cool. All right. So Google Translate passed the test. Ineke. All right. I got to say that 25 times so I remember it. Ineke. 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 Delilah's scissors. How can people not get that? Samson and Delilah. That's such a cool name too. Ineke. Yeah, that's such a cool name. Ineke. I like that name. Yeah. And I like Delilah's scissors too. Yeah, I mean, we got a 5-pound super chat right out of the gate. So thank you, Alexander Hurst, for coffee to go through the BS we're all about to endure, but may ask, let's try reform. Put yourself in their shoes, guide them towards sensibility. Okay. Well, thank you. And, I did get a compliment earlier today. I was in Dark Knights Live earlier today. Some of you may have seen me there. But there was a guest who, it was the last guest of the day. And it was actually a pretty long conversation. And I just basically broke down his entire, reasoning. And, we just kind of went over his entire belief. And, Oppo, who I really like. Oppo's a really cool person. If you guys don't know who Oppo is, you should. Anytime you see OPO, you see Oppo on a live, just go, because Oppo is it's fiery, and I like that. And Oppo was getting a little impatient, which is totally understandable, because I think the person, because you guys know how I do it. I ask very, very sharp questions, right? And they dig pretty deep. And I, and truth be told, the questions I ask, it can put people in a corner sometimes. And so the guest was being a little bit evasive when not. And so Oppo got very upset, which is understandable because when people are being evasive and all that stuff, it can get frustrating. And and so I just kind of kept going with my line of questioning, and I was getting a little bit frustrated as well, not gonna lie. But yeah, you're right, it is pokey. It is. And I was getting frustrated too. However, we have serious trouble here today. Good to see you. Happy Friday. See, what a great day to have serious trouble here. But we just kept going, and it took like an hour to talk to this person, at least. And at the end, Oppo said, I kind of, because at the outcome, the person ended up saying, I think I'm going to look up some things that you told me, and I'm going to really research that and think about it. And so, and it ended up being, and then they made up, they both said, hey, I'm sorry too. So that was good, because I did remind that Christian, hey, the thing is that you committed to this belief, right? You are committed to this belief. So your Bible says you have to be the gentle and meek and submissive one. You have to be the one who's gentle and all that. And lobes. And you have to be that person, not us. Why are you an atheist? Because there's not enough sufficient evidence to demonstrate the existence of any gods. So I don't believe in any gods. Why do you think your patience is worn thin? It has evolved, I would say. It has changed. Simply that I'm a lot more honed in on how to work with folks who have trouble, addressing issues or answering questions and whatnot. And so I think I'm much more linear today. Did you have an abnormally cruel, harsh father? Not really. Not for the time. I mean, my dad was, I wouldn't say abnormally, it was actually normal to be pretty authoritarian. So I wouldn't say abnormally. But the psychoanalysis isn't going to work, Roger. That's not why I deconstructed. So the image of God is not proof. Well, what image of God is there? I mean, it specifically says in the Bible you can't see God's face. So what image of God is there? Oh, Slice 78. You almost had us there. I thought you were throwing out an L, but it's for lobes. Yeah. Enika, I totally understand, especially on a hot button topic like that. Because a woman's right to choose I think it's just it's sacred. And bodily autonomy is it's just so central and basic. And when people don't grasp that, I can totally understand that it's hard to hear. Yeah. So I get it, Enika. I totally get it. And I'm just going to say your name just so I can remember how to pronounce it. So I'm just going to say it every time I see it. I'm just going to, Enika. Hi, Enika. How you doing, Enika? You're absolutely right, Enika. My dad's a pastor and I am an atheist. And we see that a lot, Ren. We do see that a lot. Yes. Well, thank you, Enika. You think there's anything outside of space and time? Not to our knowledge. We haven't detected it. It doesn't mean there isn't. It's just, as far as we can tell, there isn't. So I think the best answer to your questions, I don't know. No idea. No clue. So yeah, if you are a friendly, feel free to request up and we can talk about deconstruction. We're going to do this for the first hour. And if you are a believer and you are having doubts and decurious, then request up. You have the ability to go through life alone without saving. I'm not sure what that means, Matt. You might need more like text space to flesh that out. Without saving? Yeah, that part I'm not clear on what you mean. I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to assume. I'm just not 100% clear. So try. Well, it's not a simple question. It doesn't make sense here from here. Like without saving, I don't know what that means. Hey, Ragizi, good to see you again. So I'm seeing a lot of the familiar faces from earlier today. So it's all good to see you. It's good to see the familiar faces. So yeah, if you are friendly and want to talk about deconstruction, you want to share your story, that's cool. Do you think you can withstand death without saving? Well, from my perspective, death is final. So there's nothing to withstand. Lights go out and we're done. And so even that question, Matt, is ill-formed according if you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible. That's an ill-formed question. Because that's not what death is. That's not what death is in the Bible, is it? Because you've got the final death, right? The purpose of life is to exist, number 1, is to survive, number 2, and is to flourish, number 3. So that's the purpose of life, and whatever other purpose that you make of it. So are you saying what is the purpose of life from your end? Because if it's to worship a God, that sounds pretty pathetic, not going to lie. Deconstruction is good. Reevaluation is important without assumptions. Yeah, I hear you, God's favorite. I think that I'm agreeing. I agree with that. And you know what? Not everyone like goes atheist or agnostic. A lot of people will deconstruct their beliefs, and then they'll, sometimes it strengthens their beliefs, sometimes it changes their beliefs. So, I think during the process, so humanity has no purpose. Yeah, I didn't say that. And I didn't say that either, Matt. I said your purpose is to survive. So how did you get no meaning from that? No purpose. That can take a lot of meaning. Hey, Trust, how do you foster relationships with religious folks who condone such crazy things? That's a tough question. I mean, it's easier for me, like with strangers here, to like when we get to those pieces of morality and stuff like that, where it's like I'm hitting the reductio of their beliefs. And what if one were to say that's lame? Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And that's just my opinion. I mean, you ask another atheist that, you'll probably get a different answer. So I'm not the spokesperson for all of atheism. We'll put it like that. Jesus loves me. How can a dead person love me? As far as we know, Jesus is dead. He was thrown into a pit. Jessica, good to see you. Happy Friday, a fellow trustee. What's the purpose of us surviving? Well, without surviving, if you don't survive, you can't flourish. If you don't flourish, you can't choose your purpose. So maybe that's the purpose of surviving, is to choose your purpose. I've got multiple purposes. Yep. Wait, Matt, way to strawman me. Very good. I'm done breeding, so I have no more purpose. Well, according to you. Bryden, it's good to see you. So who do we have? So hey, come on now. Everybody was excited about me doing a deconstruction live, and nobody's coming up to talk to me. Friends, where are you at? So come on up, friends, and let's talk. Anybody. Friends. Hip Hop Anonymous. All right. In Cold 45, I do see you, but I know you're a believer, so that's why we're gonna wait until the next hour. All right. I know you're gonna have to wait a while, unless you're deconstructing Cold 45. Say so in the chat. If you are, then we'll bring you up. But friendlies,
Hello?
how are you? Hello, friendlies. How are you?
Hello. How's it going?
It's going
Pretty
it's
good.
going well. Okay, you guys
Hey,
can
can
hear
y'all
me.
hear me?
We can hear you. Yes. Yes, we
Okay,
can
I
hear
was just
you.
making sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is my first time being on a live.
Oh, welcome in. And now, are you?
Yeah.
I've seen you in my live before. Are you? I just want to double check. Are you a believer, or where you at?
I am a former believer who is now agnostic.
Gotcha. Okay. Right on. All right.
And so, I love hearing other people's deconstruction stories because I like to compare them to what I went through and how I discovered I no longer believed.
Mm-hmm.
But since, no one else was coming up, I kind of emboldened myself too. So,
well, welcome up. I'm glad you came up. And these are my friends. These are all my familiar friends. This is Redheaded Trouble, Rock Easy, and
Hi.
Jessica. Yeah.
Hi.
So it's good to see you all. Happy Friday to you all.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet y'all too.
Yeah.
So what started mine, it actually started while I was still a Christian. And about 12 years ago, I did a personal devotional that took me through the Bible within a year. And, yeah.
Reading the Bible.
And there was a lot of, I know, there was a lot of things I never realized were in there. Lots of essay.
Yeah.
Lots of that. Things that just didn't make sense to me because this God that I had been taught about my entire life wouldn't have allowed these things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but, I kept, talking myself like God, the whole God's way is better than ours. He knows better than us. You'll never understand his ways. So I just kind of said, you know what? I'll never understand, but I trust God. And because that's what you're taught.
Right.
So I still stayed a believer just with those knew that I saw contradictions. And so about 5 years ago, I just also was very heavily involved in church. And I just started seeing, because I was at kind of a larger church and just seeing kind of how they were a corporation. And I just saw a lot of things I didn't really agree with. Yes. And so I started pulling away from that as well, because I was like, this isn't my vibe.
Yeah.
And so then I can't really explain how this happened because I had not been watching any kind of like apologetic videos or even atheists explaining why they're atheist videos, anything like that. But one night, my brain just decided to deconstruct the concept of hell. And when I woke up, I just no longer believed it existed.
Yeah. I hear that.
And so, so it was it's been like little seeds, I think reading the Bible really planted that seed. And then it just slowly got less and less where I was like, okay, this is messed up. All right, well, this is a lie. And then eventually it just came to the point where I'm not going to say there is no God. I have no proof there isn't, but I have no proof there is.
Yeah.
Facts.
Then that's
and it
fair.
just, when I started feeling that way, it just helped me see also the fact that the things that I was told about God being all good, all powerful, all knowing, all of those things just didn't match up with what I was seeing the actions God was taking in the Bible. So.
That's a big W right there.
Yes.
I've long subscribed to the statement, religion teaches you what to think, not how to think. And it sounds like you got to the how to think part. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, also, in case you can't tell by my accent, I'm from the South. I'm from Mississippi.
I was just going to say, it sounds like you're in a red state. Yeah.
Yes, very much. Basically, the buckle of the belt. And
the buckle of the belt. Got you.
And so it's ingrained in our society, even to this day. I mean, that's just how people live their lives, and it's ingrained into politics, which
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, that's national now. But
Are you out?
Yeah.
am I out of Mississippi?
No. Out as an agnostic. Or are you still, because I know a lot of people who deconstruct, because of family pressure, where they live, they kind of have to stay in that role, and which is totally understandable because, sometimes it's a safety issue. So,
Yes.
yeah. So I was just curious, but you don't have to answer if you don't want to. It's okay.
No, I don't mind answering. I am not out. Now, my mother knows, my siblings know, but I have a very devout 80-year-old grandmother that I just, if she knew, I'm scared it would kill her, because she is that, when I say she is that enveloped in it, it's her whole life.
Yeah.
And so I am also an elementary school teacher. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
And
you keep going. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm also an elementary school teacher, and this being Mississippi, this could be my livelihood. Like, it could affect my livelihood for people to know. So I have to keep it very close to my chest at work. I just have to, because people wear Bible verses on their shirts, and we have like a no politics, no religion, no any, it's in our dress code, but people just don't listen to it. And
it's wild
when everyone believes. Yes.
That is wild. Yeah, it's wild to me. And I think this is, and what you're saying is a big reason why I do these lives, is because there are folks like you who don't have the outlet or the voice. And so I'm feeling like the folks that are up here, as well as we can be that voice for you.
Yes.
So
and that's one thing why
livelihood. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And that's one reason why I really enjoy watching your lives, even if I'm just doing it from the background and just listening. It helps me know that there are like minds out there, and that I'm just trapped in like this little bubble of a community.
Yeah. I hope we can reach you, soon, like your community. Because look at
me too.
I'm not saying to just completely dismantle. I know there's some anti-theists out there. I'm not the anti-theist variety, and that's okay. I think the bigger thing is, when it's like what you're saying, when you're starting to wear it on your chest, when you're starting to influence like political policy, social policy, to me, that's a bridge too far, and I think we have to stop that first. Yeah.
Right. Well, there's even people, as far as like Christian nationalism, there's people like James Tallarico, who is a devout Christian, but he is heavily against Christian nationalism and like making it law. He believes that everyone, regardless if they believe what he believes or not, deserves the right to. And that's the way it should be.
You're right. I agree with that.
It's such a foreign concept here.
And I'm sure there's there's probably other non-believing families in your district, maybe even in your class. There may even be somebody of another religion in your class, And so,
absolutely.
Yeah. And so if you're just wearing Bible verses on your shirt, well, what about them? What would happen if they, like, say, wore a Quran verse on their shirt?
Exactly.
What would happen?
Yes.
It just would not be received well.
No. And, I do have students from the Muslim community in my classroom. And, a funny story about that, actually, one of them told another student that they were going to go to hell because they celebrated Halloween.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yes.
See, and that's wrong too.
Yes.
So,
and like I said, listen, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but that's not a polite thing to say to another person. You have to respect others if you want them to respect you.
Yeah, exactly.
Say it again.
Say it again. Yeah, exactly. Say less. Exactly.
I'm so tired of people like demanding the respect that they don't give.
Yes.
I'll let you continue. I just had to jump in on that one.
No,
thank you.
Well said. Well said. Absolutely. Well, do you have any questions for us, or? Yeah.
I mean, not really. I know a bit of your deconstructing journey just because, like I said, I've listened to the lives. I don't have any questions at this point.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed speaking with y'all, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, you're welcome to stay up so my other friends, if you guys want to jump in and comment,
Yeah.
say something, ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd ask a question. Like, what was it about hell that made you
Good
deconstruct
question.
that?
Good question.
Okay. Yeah. So, I just thought about the span of eternity and how we can't even fathom what eternity looks like. And you're telling me that a human life, because in the Christian religion, you get one life, and let's just say 100 years. A human gets 100 years in the span of an eternity to prove that they believe and that they're worthy of going to heaven. And that just, if you really look at that ratio, that's like a blimp on a radar screen. That's nothing compared to eternity. That's not fair. That's not just.
Mm.
Boom. She
And
said
that's really
a good
what
point.
did it. Yes. That was really the thing that I kept thinking about.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause-
if you consider mortality rates like going back like centuries, like it's even less than that.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
totally less.
Yeah, because like, oh, I never heard of Jesus. Now I have to be in hell for billions of years. Like that
Yes.
doesn't even make sense. Yeah, that's a
That
good
also,
point.
that was another thing that, what about people who live a godlike life? Like whatever, you say you should, however you should live your life, a Christ-like life. That's what I meant to say. But yet you just listen, even if you were told about Jesus, but you were like, that's a beautiful story, but it just doesn't resonate with me. That person goes to hell? All because it just wasn't convincing enough. It just didn't make sense anymore. And it felt crazy. It kind of felt like, and not to talk about something else, but it kind of feels like how everyone in the country is feeling now about just in politics in our government and how we've been lied to, and like the wool is being pulled over off of more people's eyes. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
Like whenever
That's a
you were
good
a
take.
kid and you found out about Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly. Let me pause real
Probably
quick,
because
everybody.
that's how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is. Just a quick pause, everybody. I don't want to ruin the. We got a nice flow here, but there is a guest requesting. Just want to remind everybody, if you're requesting as a guest, I'm taking friendlies. Those who are having doubts, thinking about deconstructed, have deconstructed. So somewhere along the agnostic atheist, continuum. So if you are in the guest queue, like I see one in there. Because I'm just going to pull people up as they come in. But if you're a believer and you want to like debate or want to proselytize, we're going to do that in about an hour. So, all right, continue on, and then I'll introduce the next guest. So go ahead and finish what you guys were saying. Or did you?
Oh,
Sounds
I think
like
we
you
did.
answered it. Okay, fantastic.
Well, just that we just realized that's how it felt. Was I was like, everything I've been taught is a lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear that. Made with Trash and Love. How you doing?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about what made me deconstruct.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh yeah, hi. Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you. Okay, yeah, we'll hear Jessica, and then we'll bring you up. So hang tight there.
Yeah.
New guest.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
was just
go ahead,
like one
Jessica.
day I asked myself like how do I really know it's true? And for me it was the whole crucifixion story. Like if somebody's walking around saying like I'm God, I'm gonna raise in 3 days, and you have all these disciples saying he's God, he's this, then I would make sure I had guards at the tomb just to make sure that this is gonna happen. And the guards were there, but it didn't make sense that at the end of the day none of the guards knew what happened. Like none of them were able to stand guards. And wasn't it like hundreds of guards or something? Like there was a lot. Like they were taking shifts and everything.
Depends which story.
Right.
Yeah, depends
Yes.
which one.
Oh.
Yeah, because
So
there's
there's
multiple
different-
stories. Yeah. So it depends which one.
So there you go. And I'm just like, if I was like a Roman guard or whoever, like I would have made sure that I would know. And there should have been a witness to see like how did the stone get rolled away. So you mean all these people were like skeptical of this and nobody made it to the point where they were still awake at the time of stone. Like that just it's just a biggest plot hole ever. Like
Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
and like you said, some of the stories like the women just happened to be walking in the, walking around like, oh, look, the stone's unturned. Well, anything could have happened.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Anything. He could have
Anything.
walked out. He could have been taken, because none of the witnesses, and then they're like, oh, they paid off the witnesses. But I'm like, somebody would have leaked the story and be like, oh, actually, here's the truth. So you mean you let the truth get buried that easily, something that's like such a high stakes claim. So that's what really started it for me. I'm like, that was too big of an event for the people to just be like, oh no, I fell asleep. I don't know. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean you fell asleep?
Yeah, they're very, very casual about all this, right? Just like, it's just very, very casual.
Yeah, we took a nap and we woke up in the tomb. So that was my story.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hi, new guest. So are you where are you at in your belief?
Hi, I am an atheist.
Fantastic. Welcome in.
I'd say I'm fully deconstructed and actively still trying to deconstruct the parts that I was indoctrinated in. And yeah.
Awesome. And would you like to share a little bit about how that happened, or like what was like the catalyst?
Yeah. I guess for me, it was kind of seeing how I'm an artist and I study art history. And for me, I guess I took like an anthropological path towards deconstruction, kind of seeing how I think there's this like innate need to like tell stories and communicate with people, our community. And when you start to see the stories of the Bible come from other places, other societies, in ancient history, you start to see that like Christianity is a culmination of all, it's syncretic, so it can kind of absorb a lot of these beliefs. And I think that kind of gives the inconsistencies that the Bible has. And from there, just kind of going to logic and thinking about, well, if God is all knowing and God knows everything for me is predestined, how is that free will? And just kind of once you kind of realize like if you can take the fantastical stuff out of it, and the Bible is not a scientific book, it does not understand the way we see the world, it doesn't align. And I always tell my Christian friends and family, like, if I were to believe in a God, I would believe that science would support God. And the God of the Christian Bible is not supported by science and what we observe and how we understand. And you can choose to say it's all magic, but then you have to accept a lot of other things. And so I rather choose what I observe and how science observes it, and it can be tested. And for me, that is more trustworthy than saying it's magic, you can't prove it, the divine, etc.
Yeah, I hear that. And I think for me, well, I mean, everyone's heard my story, but yeah, basically I'm with Hip Hop Anonymous. I just read the Bible. That's pretty much it. First time I read through it all the way through, I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember. Yeah, what the fuck was all
What
this?
was that?
Right.
I was like,
What
you never
that?
said
What
that
did
at
I just
church.
read? Yeah, exactly.
I've never heard that in a sermon.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck was all this? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And that started the whole thing. But it took me years to get over the, just like what you were saying, like you seem to get through faster the whole idea of, yeah, none of this is supported by science, but what we know about our reality, none of this is supported. And it took me a long time to get past that, despite going through school, having an education, all that stuff. I was just hanging on to this belief. And I think a big part of it was fear.
Absolutely. I grew up as a missionary.
Oh,
Wow.
I was in it. I was in it to win it for Jesus. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the questions I had while I was a Christian were around, like, I guess the science parts. Like, there was this preacher from Florida who has like the video series who talked about like this water dome that like magnified or like gave the world extra oxygen so that there were giants and everything was huge. And he ended up going to prison for tax evasion. I forget his name, but he was one of the ones that like offered an alternative to like the Big Bang Theory, like how creation and it didn't compute. There was a lot of holes, a lot of problems. And so that for me was like, just trying to decide, do I want to believe what we see and how we observe, or do I want to believe something that is describing something that is not what we see and what we observe? But I carry that with me I still was preaching. I was a street preacher, going into my community, trying to help bring souls to Jesus. And that was one thing I really couldn't ever reconcile. And then, I am a queer man. And so being kind of fearful of that and growing up in, a hyper religious environment, I kind of like let all of that fall to the wayside. And I really clung to the idea that if the Bible isn't supporting what we see, then there are some real problems. And then of course, honestly, trust watching you and your debates. It's still a journey. I'm still learning. I've really been interested in Christ before Jesus' work, the idea that Paul and Jesus are 2nd century creations, and just studying and learning. I do miss the community of church. I think that's one thing I miss the most, and I do have a hard time navigating relationships with my family and friends who are still part of the church. But yeah, I think we just need to be like vessels of knowledge. We need to learn and listen to people's perspectives. And I really appreciate the work that you do. And thank you all for you and your panel. Y'all are amazing.
If you need some community, because you're absolutely right. It's like that can leave like a hole, right? That sense of community can really leave a hole. And especially I would say for protected classes like people of color, queer people, that's an even bigger hole. Women, bigger hole. And so if you do need that, we've got the Deconstruction Junction Discord. We've also got my Discord that you're more than welcome to join. And, so you can, get a semblance or, kind of replace that sense of community. More than welcome to do that. Yeah. So if you go to the link in my profile, I've got a Discord there, and then that'll take you to the Deconstruction Junction, which is a much bigger deconstruction community. So open invitation.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I'll definitely check it out. This is my first time on a live. I've been watching you for months and a lot of people, so it's kind of crazy.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you, hip hop. You gave me courage to come up. I was excited to listen to others, but I was like, what the heck, why not?
Right.
Well, I was like, I talk all day, so I was like, I can at least, I talk to children all day, but I was like, I can talk to adults, right? And like not get nervous. And
I can do it.
I can do it. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, so I love that folks have come up, like it's like, I never come up before. I love that. So, man, props to both of you. W's for both of you. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, we have I have no room here, and I think other people would like to request stuff. So who would?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm happy to drop down.
I've been on here the longest, so I think it's only fair.
Okay. Well,
I go, and I would love to hear other people's stories. So
okay.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
Absolutely, Hip Hop Anonymous. Come on back up again. I think we're going to do this every Friday. So if you guys want to pop back up and just vent, speak your piece, come on back. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you, new friend. All right, and same to you, Made with Trash and Love. MWT.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.
Nice to meet you. Love seeing new friends, meeting new friends and all that. Oh, yes. So we got two more. We're going to jump right back in. All right, Midwest, how you doing? You made it.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, you made it.
Yeah, I made it, man.
Right on.
I'm still finishing up at work, but I'm good. It's Friday.
Okay,
and
we should be Khalil. Right on.
hope everybody's good, man.
Yeah,
How's
yeah.
everybody doing?
Doing well. How's that? Yeah. I'm doing well. How about you guys? These are all my friends.
I'm doing well.
Good.
Hanging on.
Hanging on.
Yeah, we hanging in there.
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
doing well.
me and Oppo, we're still cleaning our teeth with that barbecue that we had earlier today.
That was really good. That was such a good time.
That was a great time. Yeah.
Dang,
Oppo,
no
man.
invite.
Okay. Well, we'll invite. I did share it out.
It was just one of those things.
It was.
Yeah, it was in the wild. Yeah, we were out in the wild.
It's a barbecue in the wild.
On stuff. Yeah, the pigeons.
Oh
It was
man.
crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So, and Nietzsche, how you doing?
Hey, man.
Good to see you.
I don't know, but we've talked before.
Yeah, I think we
You
have
probably
talked
don't
before.
remember me. Oh, okay.
I do. Now, wait. Refresh my memory. Are you a believer?
Well,
Or are you kind
last time I
of?
joined you, I was a Christian. I'm now like an agnostic
What?
because I talked to you.
Welcome,
love it.
welcome.
Huge W. Huge W. Welcome to reasoning and rationality.
yeah.
That is
so-
awesome.
Wow, congratulations.
W's
Yeah, I've
for
been thinking a lot.
W's in the chat, everybody, for Nietzsche. That's awesome, man. Love it.
I've been thinking a lot about like the principle of generic consistency and looking at by Alan Gerwith.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought that up with other Christian apologists, particularly Q-Top, and he said that it doesn't prove objective reality because I haven't been to everywhere in the universe to prove that it is indeed objective. So I was just wondering, like, what would you say in objection to that?
I would say that if you're telling me then that the laws of logic work differently somewhere else in the universe, I'm all ears. I mean, this is like everything that we know about like physics and our reality and all that stuff is based on like observation and stuff like that. And when we've observed things in the far corners of the universe, as far as we can tell, it all pretty much holds up as the same. So, okay, well, we can leave open that possibility, but then the other problem is neither does a believer. A believer doesn't have that same perspective either. You're just filling in that gap with God. That's it.
I'd say that's
Well,
just an
yeah,
absurd
well,
straw
Q-Top-
man.
Yeah, it's kind of an absurd strong.
What
Yeah.
Q-Top brought to me is that we have objective morality and reasoning through God because he gave us the laws of logic, which are like the law of non-contradiction, the law of identity,
Mhm.
and and those laws of logic, and therefore is universal. That means that it can apply to everything, and it is independent of the human mind, which is the definition of it being objective. So
Yeah.
therefore, it would apply everywhere.
Yeah,
And
see,
because
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
and because this principle isn't universal in that way.
Okay.
So that's the argument he brought up against that.
So he's saying the principle of generic consistency isn't universal.
yeah.
Okay. And so see, that's the thing. It's great if you get to redefine terms to whatever you want. Sure. Then he's absolutely right. But see, that's not how the world works, right? We have a dictionary that have definitions, and that's not what objective means. Objective means mind independent, not human mind independent. It means mind, that means independent of all minds, right? So like, for example, and so what I would have asked him is does God have a mind? Which he would likely agree and say, yeah, he has a mind. Okay. So if God has a
he
mind.
did say he have a mind.
Yeah. So if God has a mind and God gave us the laws of logic and morality, that means it's all subjective because it's subject to God's mind. Because if it were objective, it would be independent of God's mind, which see, and that's the thing. He has to assert that because he also believes that God is necessary, right? necessary to existence, is a necessary being. And if God is subjective, if objective reality, if reality and logic are independent of God's mind, that means God is contingent. He is, he has to follow the laws of physics, the laws of logic and reality and stuff like that. So he has to. And so basically it's special pleading. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Well, I brought up a similar objection to that. I don't think it was quite that. I was thinking like, well, I asked him
Brave
a
on you for going in on
clarification
fucking
question.
Q-Tops live. Yeah. Brave.
Yeah. So like, well, then if your God has a mind, then how is it objective? And he said because it is beyond space and time. It is omnipresent, and that it has no origin like the universe does.
Yeah.
So
And I'd ask him to
it has
demonstrate
always been, it always will be.
Yeah.
So
I'd ask him to
therefore,
demonstrate
in that sense, it is objective because it cannot change like our minds can change.
Yeah, and again, that's
So
not
that's
what
the
objective is.
objection you brought up.
Not only is that not what objective is, but then you can turn internally into the Bible and demonstrate how throughout the Bible, especially the Old Testament, God changes his mind.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly
that would
right.
just be, that would be such a easy defeater for, that claim of his.
Yep, I was just
Yeah,
about to
and
say,
that's-
just go to the Old Testament, and that's not true.
Yeah, that's one of the main things that bother me really about the Old Testament. Like, if you look at Genesis 6, it says that God felt regret for creating humans.
Literally
That
changing
right
your
there.
mind.
When they,
And like oftentimes as a rebuttal to that, you'll have people say, well, that's just what's called anthropomorphic language, like, language to for humans to better understand the state of God. And that's not literal. God didn't really change his mind, or God didn't really regret. But then you really have to you have to step into the shoes of people at the time who were making these, who were writing these.
1 second. Sorry, Godless. I don't have a spot. Hang tight. We'll get a spot for you here in a minute. Hang in there, Godless.
I'll tell you what.
And
I'll drop down because I haven't been very vocal. I've just been listening to everybody else. So I'll drop down and just.
Are you sure?
In the chat.
Okay. Well, if the spot opens up, I'll yell, and you can request back up, and we'll bring you back. All right.
Okay.
Appreciate you,
everybody.
Midwest. Appreciate you. All right. Now we'll bring up Godless Engineer. All right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt everybody. Go ahead. Keep going. Hey, Godless.
No problem. And I was just saying, just look at like how people at the time believed God to be, how Yahweh was thought to be. And it's very much like a corporeal figurehead, something, an entity that is very much tangible, that is changes his mind. That's something that was held on to since the development of Judaism from the very, very beginning. And you don't get this shift in thought of like God being outside of space and time until the Greeks and Greek philosophy are introduced into the belief system and incorporated and into this concept of God. That's not something that is ever thought of biblically in the Old Testament at all.
Got it.
Go ahead, sorry.
So sorry.
okay.
I mistook Rockeezy for Midwest, and I dropped Midwest down. So Midwest, if you want to come back up, come on back up. All right, go ahead. Continue, guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for that information. I didn't know about some of the history. Like, I knew there was an element where God definitely changes his mind some points, and especially in the Old Testament. Like, I think it was Exodus 32:10. That's with the golden calf. God says he's gonna smite everybody that built that golden calf. He's gonna wax hot on them. And then Moses, an imperfect human, somehow changes an omnibenevolent, omniscient, omnipotent deity's mind.
Yeah.
That always confused me.
Yeah, that's one. The other one is Abraham looking for a righteous person in Sodom and Gomorrah. Was it Abraham or whoever it was? And going back to God multiple times saying, is there any way we can do that? And I mean, you can even take that as God fucking with him, just trolling him, because he knew there was nobody there. So why would God do that if not to troll him? I mean, He already knew there was nobody righteous in there. So why even have Abraham do that?
Oh yeah, or even
unless he didn't know.
A much more famous example is when he asked Abraham to kill his only son Isaac.
Yep.
Which I always found very hard to comprehend or to understand why God would ask him to do that. It seems like kind of cultish to me. Like now that I seriously started to reflect on it.
Yeah, and they'll say, Christians will say, well, that was just God testing, right? And they'll kind of hand wave it away.
Yeah, that's a common objection.
Yeah, I mean, but to your point, it's horrific regardless whether or not God knew that Abraham would go through with it and succeed in his test, or God didn't know. Like either way, like that is a horrific method to teach a lesson or to test someone's faith.
Yeah.
Especially when you know that they're going to pass the test and you still have to like inflict this fear and panic in your servant, your quote unquote beloved follower.
Beloved son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I brought this up with other Christians before and they said, oh, it's just a test. He was testing him for Abraham's sake. But I was like, doesn't that cause like a social strain between him and his son Isaac? Like he was literally getting ready to sacrifice his own son.
Imagine that walk home.
Exactly.
So, son, you want to go throw the ball around afterwards? No! I mean, yeah, serious PTSD. Oh my God. I mean, just think about that. Like, you know, Godless Engineer, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good to see you, friend.
Yeah, good to see you too. So yeah, I know that you're kind of using this time for like deconstruction stuff. I do a lot of deconstruction like interviews and stuff on my channel, but I did want to let everybody know today that I've actually got Dr. Richard Carrier that's going to be joining me on my channel, both here on TikTok and on YouTube, to answer any and all questions about mythicism.
Okay.
So,
good to hear. What time is that going to be?
And also,
yeah, it's at 6 p.m. Central is when we're starting up.
That's right about the time I go off. So perfect. Well, I guess we're doing a raid. I guess we know who we're raiding.
Yes.
All right, there we go. So we're raiding Godless Engineer today, and you're both on YouTube and TikTok. That's been kind of the struggle this week, is finding creators who are on both. So we don't leave out the YouTube folks. So now problem solved. Look at this. I love that. Right on. Okay. Well, we're gonna be sending people your way. So be prepared.
Oh yeah.
Get your tickets, folks, for Rocket City Reason.
Yeah. Rocket City Reason. Oh, I just want to say, since you're up here, Goddess, I just want to say I'm gonna do a little bit of humble bragging. I'm gonna be on the Atheist Experience on April 26th. So,
oh my God, congrats.
Yeah, so you guys, so just be prepared for that. Yeah, I just talked to Greg and we just finalized it. So, yeah, I'm going to be on AXP on the 26th. So
that's great. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you.
I really hope that the ACA starts pulling up more, so some of the, I say smaller creators, but just creators that people haven't really been exposed to. I really hope they start doing more of that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And by the way, everybody,
especially the TikTok channels.
Yeah, the TikTok channels. But just by the way, they are looking for people. So apparently there's like a shortage because, they've been asking me if there's anybody who's interested, and I know they've been like pushing their email out. So if you go to the AXP website and just shoot out an email if you're interested, just throw your hat in, and they'll probably talk to you. Yeah.
Personally, I think redheaded trouble down there. I think you'd have a pretty good shot.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Reaching out to them. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I might actually put in a word for you. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. That's actually a great idea, GE. I'm going to put in a word.
Yeah, because I mean, redheaded, I've seen you going up on everybody's lives and everything. I think you do a pretty good job. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really been going live like on my own channel lately. I know a lot of people have been wondering like when I'm going live. I don't really have a schedule yet. It's just kind of like work-life balance, and then adding this in has just been kind of a
it's tough. It's
I was
tough.
wondering. I was like, where the hell is she been?
I've been trying to make a presence, like coming up on people's panels and stuff, but I mean, to get ready and get on camera and stuff.
Oh, for real,
It's a
Christina.
lot. I commend you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, that's the thing is, yeah, AXP definitely the atheist community of Austin. Yeah, they're always looking for talent. So, yeah, like I said, don't be afraid to throw your hat in the ring if you're interested. The Rocket City Reason Conference in October, it's the first time anyone's asked me that. I hadn't even considered it. You know what? If I've got if I'm not busy, I'll do my best to go. Yeah. I'll have to see what the scheduling is. So I'd love to go.
Luckily, I'm the perfect person to talk to about that.
What perfect timing.
Yeah. So we've got great scheduling this year. It's our first inaugural conference year, and we've got a lot of great people. We've got Thinker. We've got Jesus on Follower. I don't know if y'all know of Jesus on Follower. He's primarily on Instagram, but he's out there too. We've got we're going to be having a live line show on that Saturday night.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, we've got a drag show and an Alabama barbecue on Friday, and then we're going to be touring the Space and Rocket Center on Sunday.
Ooh, I think you might have had me a barbecue.
Yeah.
I've already got my tickets for all 3 days.
Are you serious?
So excited.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah,
because Alabama's my home, so I was like, this is easy.
We've tried to keep it relatively affordable. I mean, we've priced things to where we're pretty much just covering all of the expenses. So, and we've got it pretty modular where you can have you can pay for different things that you want to. It's all on the website. It's rocketcityreason.com.
There it is.
And you can get tickets and you can get hotel information and everything like that there. So,
okay. Rocket City Reason in October. You guys heard it here first. Well, maybe second, maybe third, but you guys heard it here. How about that? No, that's awesome. I think that's great. Yeah, thanks for sharing that with. I know I've seen in your lives. I've seen it like on the side of your head, and I've been needing to ask you about that. So that's great. Okay, now I know.
And we're planning on having it be like primarily like panels and everything. So we're always looking for good people to, put up there because we've got a healthy mixture. We've got like Seth Andrews for a keynote. We've also got Forrest Valkai and Erica bringing up at the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
And then, and so we're constantly always looking out for good people to bring up and have on panels and everything. So we're definitely hoping to sort of integrate the the IRL kind of space with the online space, and that's our hope. That's our goal.
That's cool. That is so cool.
I love Forrest Valkai.
Yeah,
he taught me so much about like evolution and how like combat like young Earth creationism. Because even when I was like a Christian, I always thought that was so idiotic.
Yeah, it is. It's what's really wild to me is, basically what you're essentially saying. If evolution is totally untrue, that means that every major scientific discipline that we have is just way out. Either they're wrong or they're lying. And that just doesn't make any sense at all. Like they are just so often wrong. That boggles my mind that you would take it that far. Yeah. I mean, that's a double down of all double downs.
They also often don't understand like what a scientific theory actually is.
Exactly.
Or they just misconstrue the crap out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Usually.
Totally agree.
Oh, I also wanted to bring up another point. I was talking to Deathless. Do you know?
I don't know who Deathless
Anyone
is.
by that name?
No.
Deathless Light? Oh. Well, he had a very interesting philosophy. It was a theist argument. He is a Christian. And I'm just going to try and condense as much as I can. He said that God is the ultimate maximally great meta system for all inconceivable and conceivable realities, and thus he must exist in every possible world. And that's the entire argument.
That was his entire argument. I would boy, that's a huge begging the question. That's just a huge presupposition. I mean, like, okay, what's your evidence of that? Yeah. Yeah, it's a modal ontological. Yeah, right. Exactly, Sticks. But it's like, okay, what where do you get that? Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering like what epistemological ground are you using to get to that? And he said based off the idea that God is an omnipresent, omniscient, omnibenevolent deity.
Okay. So it's a bacon.
So that's basically
it's a presup.
So it's just begging the question.
Yeah, it's just begging the question. So then you have to demonstrate that's true, right? And I think that's the thing is I think ultimately these things go from. I mean, you have to have a theory of knowledge for all this, right? I mean, it's just okay. It's fine. It works if we just accept what you're saying is true. If we just accept all of your presuppositions, okay, fine. It lines up. It's not irrational, it's not incoherent. But then the problem is, okay, well, you have to demonstrate all that's true. All your presuppositions, all the background stuff. You got to demonstrate all that. And they can't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you couldn't really like justify God or like prove he exists. Not justify him, but prove he exists. You can't do that.
Exactly, Sticks. Yeah.
So therefore, you can't.
And I've always said this whenever like engaging with Christians who try to use philosophy, like that's an interesting tool to use, but at least for me, philosophy or any kind of philosophical argument never led me into Christianity, kept me in Christianity, or led me out of it. So like for me, I always clock out because it's not something that my faith ever hinged on. And like you guys already said, there's just a lot of what was I gonna say? I just lost the word. Anyway, so you have to assume a lot in order for these philosophical arguments to work, and then whenever you try to apply it to what the Bible says, it's not consistent. And then you have to jump through a lot of hoops to try to and like contextualize words or redefine things just for it to fit. And at that point, it's wholly unconvincing. If you got to bend that much, then it's not something that's like really stable.
Yeah. Speaking of
yeah,
which,
it certainly falls apart when you apply systematic theology, when you walk yourself through any type of systematic theology.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have Sticks here. I don't know if you guys saw the debate between Sticks and was it Theosophical Wanderings? Is that who it was? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
It was fantastic. It's on YouTube. It's on Monkey Boy Logic's channel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's on there. If you go there, and it's an hour and 20-minute watch, but it's just clinical. It's surgical. So, how you doing, Sticks? Yeah, I have immense respect for Sticks. How you doing, man?
Hey, good guys. Good to be up here.
Yeah, good to have you.
Yeah, Nietzsche. Those modal ontological arguments or ontological arguments, in of themselves, as Trust mentioned, are just question begging, because what you're doing is you're defining the God into existence. You're saying and you're defining the predicate of being necessarily existing. So you're saying something to the effect of like, it's logically possible that a maximally great being exists. But how I define maximally great is something that would exist. So it's logically possible that something you're just saying that it necessarily exists.
Right, and then whenever you apply that to the God of the Old Testament, that's certainly not the case, but because Yahweh, that motherfucker was defeated by iron chariots. So what the fuck do you mean all powerful? He got taken out by something less than a Toyota Camry.
Yeah, but
yeah,
exactly. By iron chariots, he just got defeated. Yeah. Like, well, shit, iron chariots. Yeah, ironically, that's what I have out in my front yard. I got iron chariots, so.
Right, protecting my front door just in case that
just in case,
through.
Exactly, just in case God wants to come through. He'd be like, "Oh shit, I can't. Nothing I can do. Trust. All right, guess we're done. I'm gonna go home."
Yeah, and the omnibenevolent part, I think, doesn't match like empirically with what we see in the world, like particularly with like biological suffering. Like, why would an omnibenevolent deity allow animals to suffer or diseases to spread and
It's like one of
kill
my favorite
innocent
ones.
children and
Yeah.
babies. Yeah, I think that was the argument that officially turned me away from Christianity. It's just wondering about, like, why would God let so many animals and innocent children die from diseases or just natural causes like natural disasters like earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
There's just no explanation for it.
That's all outside of free will, which is, I know what a lot of Christian apologists say. God made evil because he gave us free will.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
And that's why there's evil in the world. But
yeah,
that still doesn't explain like naturalistic evils.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't explain that. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't the free will doesn't explain. Yeah, animal suffering, like earthquakes, tornadoes, all that. There's just no explanation for it. So you've just got all these holes. Yeah.
Even if it did, right? The result of this kind of like these natural evils or these necessary evils cause further disbelief in God, right? So
yes,
someone's
I love that argument you gave. Yeah, you did that in one of my comments in one of my videos. Such a great argument. Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right. Point. Yeah, like, some natural disaster happens and, wipes out someone's family, or, God permits, I don't know, through some permissive will, someone to harm another person. And by virtue of the cards that this person, these people are dealt, they ask themselves the question, right? Like, how is it possible that God exists? And they might be unconvinced God exists because of the events that unfold in their lives. And according to the Christian paradigm, God then doubles down and punishes them for all of eternity for this disbelief. And I think that's psychotic.
Mm-hmm. It is. It totally is. It's such a great argument.
Because that event hardens their heart as well.
Yeah.
And God would know that by causing some unnecessary harm, that one ramification of it would be the hardening of their hearts. And so he intentionally set that into motion just for their hearts to be hardened, just to punish them for not believing in him.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And so that means then that God conceivably could preserve free will, but just not let that one thing that makes a believer a non-believer, that one calamity, or that small list of calamities, right? Just not let it happen to that believer, and you could still preserve free will. I mean, that's how you can extend that to what Styx and Oppo are saying. It does nothing to free will. You still have tons of choices, but it's just that like a person who gets graped, and that would turn him away from God. You just don't let that happen. Just God says, no, don't let that happen.
Well, and like we would never look at the inability to use mind control to, like, I don't know, blow someone's head up or something as an infringement upon our free will. So God seemingly limited the parameters of what's possible in this universe, and he said, I don't want them to be doing that one thing. But then when we talk about other evils, like our ability to punch one another or our ability to kick puppies, God was like, I'm going to let them do those things. And when we talk about, the possibility of just removing all of those things from the world, then the response is, oh, but then we'd lose our free will.
Yeah.
Free will, if the set of available options are all good, right? Like the ability to just like choose using your free will to hug your baby once or hug your baby 10 times is still using free will. It's just that you can't choose to punch your baby.
Exactly.
Right. I don't see the set of available things or like requiring evil things in order to maintain free will.
Yeah, exactly. And then all you got to do is just ask him one simple question. That's actually what I do. Is there free will in heaven? It just all falls apart. It just all falls apart.
What do you usually say?
I get the range of answers, but usually what happens is they get the deer in the headlights look, and then they say, well, and so if it's, because either way, nothing they say is a good answer. Because if they say no, then okay, then we have a world that works great without free will. So why can't we just have that here? You can go into that discussion. If they say yes, then you can say, oh, so then if I wanted to steal wallets in heaven, I could do that, right? Well, no, you can't do that. Well, then you don't have free will. So it just, no matter what, there's just no good answer.
They
they would also probably say you wouldn't want to do that once
Oh
you get
yeah,
into
they
heaven.
do say
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was
Yeah,
about to say.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't
they say
need it
that.
because it's sinless up there. Yep.
yeah. You wouldn't want to, and I'm like, well, why not? So then that means that God, but still, God could create a world like that down here where we wouldn't want to, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
I like Joel's approach too. When Joel reads Bible, he says, well, then that means that, you know, a person could still choose to say grape, but the moment they do it, it just, you know, God like fogs up their mind and throws some confusion on them, and they just stop doing it. So like they could still choose to grape, they just can't carry it out. You know, God could do something like that. And then they wouldn't want to, or they just suddenly wouldn't want to. Like like you're in heaven, you don't want to steal because you're in God's presence or whatever. So none of it's a good answer.
I've always framed it as God could always pop into existence real quick and pop someone in the groin and then pop out of existence.
Yeah, just dick punch him and then just pop out of existence.
Yeah, just I mean, it's not affecting their free will at all. It's just like, hey, do you want to keep continuously getting punched in the groin? No?
Yeah.
Okay, then stop doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I
love that.
I actually just watched an interesting video on this, and they said that in heaven, heaven is beyond fate and free will. Like those aren't even concepts up there. Like you could live out any single possibility you want in the afterlife in heaven. And those terms don't apply up there.
Doesn't make sense. So again, if I wanted to just do nothing, if my version of heaven is to steal wallets all the time, then that's heaven for me. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense.
And then wouldn't we just be souls? Like, wouldn't our bodies still be on earth? We would just be like floating souls in heaven. Like, we wouldn't even have money and pockets and all that, clothes and all that.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, or
Just
if I
And
wanted,
then that gets into how the hell can your body be tortured? How can you be tortured for eternity if you don't have nerve endings?
Right,
anymore?
exactly.
It just falls apart no matter how
That's
you
like
look
a
at
whole
it.
other can of worms.
Right. It just like no matter which angle you take, it just ends up not making sense. It just doesn't make any sense. All right. Well, thanks for coming up, Sticks. Appreciate you. Oh, and thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
And I've heard a lot of Christians say that it's actually hell is just eternal anguish for the soul. So it's just like a separation from God.
Like,
and like
what does that even mean, though?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Because
I'm not fully sure.
Right? Yeah, and I'm not asking you specifically, but you know, like that's always something that I think of whenever I hear stuff like that. Like, I've never experienced any kind of anguish or pain separate from my body.
Right.
So because anguish elicits like physical reactions, and it's
Yeah.
those physical reactions that is the anguish, right?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, they just say that anguish of the soul is different from like bodily harm, and that it's eternal rather than temporary, and that it's a constant state. It's never like relieved or never. It's never alleviated. It never goes away, and it's just for eternity. In that constant anguish state, this separation from God and the emptyless void.
Right. And more so what I'm saying
Yeah.
is like, okay, for example, you have heartache, right? So you are in a relationship you get broken up with and you have heartache. Like your soul, quote unquote, colloquially speaking, is hurting. Your heart, quote unquote, colloquially speaking, is hurting, right? But it's not like your actual heart, and it's not some soul that is giving you this like physical reaction, right? The sinking pit in your stomach, or you know, just this this turmoil, this anguish. These are all biological reactions to a mental state, right? And so I don't know what that means to have eternal torture, because torture implies that I'm going to have some capability of physically feeling something or feeling something, and the only evidence or proof we have of anything feeling is an actual body. But you know, these bitches saying that soul can have nerve endings, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like, yeah, that is crazy. Oh no, one person told me one time that every organism goes to heaven. Somebody told me that. So just imagine how crowded
What?
heaven is. Yeah, like single-celled organism, everything. Single-celled organisms.
That's a lot of bacteria.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
the amoebas floating around in heaven.
Yeah, right, right,
Okay,
right.
Yeah, well, I guess.
COVID's up
Can you
there.
just imagine it? Like, yeah, every time you use Germ-X, it's like, oh no, and they float
Yeah.
off to heaven.
Yeah, yeah. They just go to
They
heaven.
would just say heaven is infinite.
Right.
I mean, that's like the most obvious objection. That heaven is infinite. It can hold every single living organism that ever lived.
It just doesn't
Heaven
make
is
sense.
worse than a public swimming pool.
Yeah. It's like,
If
it'd
it
be
has
like
every living thing there.
every little thing. It'd be like Tokyo times like 5 million. Like just the most crowded place ever. Like just, yeah, if it's infinite or yeah, maybe it isn't, but it's just, yeah, it just is hard to fathom. Like, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Well, hey,
None.
Trust, I got to get out of here, but it was
All right.
awesome hanging with y'all for a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
thanks for
and,
hanging, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I don't know. Does kicking people still like help the algorithm?
I have no idea. I got no idea. So,
I don't
but
know
I
how
can kick
any
you.
of that works.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I can kick you. But hey, man, yeah, big W for Godless. And if you guys aren't following Godless, you really need to. Fantastic stuff. Actually, he's like one of the people that like inspired me to go live and stuff like that. So just saying.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was watching you on AXP and all that, like, you know, for a long time. So yeah, just that you're fucking up here is like, oh, Jesus. It's just amazing. So thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right, I'll kick you down now after all that.
All right, thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Like, yeah, I love you, man. Get the fuck out of here. So
That's dope.
yeah, exactly. So
I'm glad he did, because now I have a place to hang out with my friends. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely. Nope, Oppo's still here. Oppo is still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I
I
also
know
want
he
to say,
says haven't gone off yet.
oh no, he hasn't because
No.
we haven't. No. But I don't know if Oppo sticks around and he decides to stay on the panel, but you may just see it. We may
all
see it.
friendlies today.
Yeah, it's all friendly. It's all friendlies. Yeah, we got to cleanse his palate from this morning, from earlier today, because yeah, he Oppo did his thing earlier. Oh yeah, love a good Oppo rant. Oh, Aaron, I'm with you on that, 100%. That's why I'm
It's good to be around nice folks.
Oh yeah, you are the community's anger translator. You say everything that we are like, all the rage that's pent up inside of us. You tap that and you just say it to everybody. So
well, and you know
need
what?
that.
I wouldn't be able to do that if it weren't for the wonderful Christians that we engage with. So shout out to y'all, Christians.
Yes,
Here's your
exactly,
flowers.
Aaron. Exactly, Aaron. Oppo is my inner voice as well. So no, I love it, man.
Yeah,
I
and
love
Lawrence.
it.
Lawrence is that's my spirit animal too.
Oh, it's Lortz. Okay. So, oh man, I think one of these. So if I haven't met Lortz yet, but if I ever meet Lortz, and I had both you and Lortz on the same panel, oh man, like that'd
That
just
would be
be like,
fun.
oh, that'd be so fun. Just be like two motherfuckers with blowtorches.
She's my
just-
North Star, I feel like. Whatever she's doing, that's what I'm gonna do. She's the one.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right. Well, we're gonna do the I got time for if anybody else wants to come up, any other friendlies wants to come up, or asking, or anyone who's just
I did
curious
have a
about
quick question
decon. Yeah, absolutely.
you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, earlier today you had mentioned that you were a believer for 30 years, and
I was.
and I know that I can only imagine the difficulty of transitioning your life from such a long commitment, because it's like it's in your being, a commitment, you
It
know,
is.
to a belief system for that long. And you probably have said this 1,000 times and I've just never caught it. But what was for you a pivotal moment for you to start deconstructing, or like what was like your story? And you've probably said it so many times and I've just missed it every time.
Yeah. I'll give the very abridged version, because the reason why I'm going to give the abridged version, because one of the Girls Got Godless ladies are here, and this is a great time to promo them. So Girls Got Godless, if you're not following them, you need to follow them, because they have a fantastic podcast where they talk to other atheist. Okay, you know about that. But I'm on there, and I go deep into my story, so you can go listen to it there. And if you want, like I was on there for like 2 hours, so I go deep. I go
Oh,
really
wow.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go
Yeah,
deep.
I'm interested in that. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. So,
So
but to
you're
answer
on
your
the,
question, go ahead, Nietzsche, and then I'll answer. Go ahead. What
you're
were
on
you
the
gonna say?
atheist experience with Voris Valkai and all the other atheists.
Who, me? Am I going to be on there, or
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be with Forrest, but I will be on the Atheist Experience. Yeah, it's going to be April 26th. That should be a Sunday.
Oh, all right. I'll check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. So to 100% agree, Queen Laquifa. So just to answer your question, Oppo, the pivotal moment, there were actually quite a few pivotal moments, but the pivotal moment, I think that the one that put the crack in the entire facade was just the first time I read the Bible. I was 17 years old, and I hadn't read it up to that point. I was like deep in the Catholic Church. I was pretty deep in the Catholic Church, and I was planning to go to seminary. I had gotten accepted into a seminary, and a priest said to me, "Hey, before you do this, you should probably read the Bible, because number one, you don't want to have your faith crisis, in middle age. You don't want to do that.
Right.
And then number two, you will be able to answer questions more effectively of those who are having a faith crisis, because you've actually read everything. You'll have those responses. You'll be able to minister to them better." I'm like, bet, sounds like a good deal. Read the whole thing, and like I was saying to somebody earlier, I think it was Hip Hop Anonymous, I was like, what the fuck did I just read? What the hell is this? I don't remember any of this shit in Sunday school, because I was a liturgical minister. I was a Eucharistic minister. I was an altar boy. I was an assistant teacher at Sunday school up until that point. I was way in. And when you're for those Catholics, you think that you are getting all of the Bible that you can handle because you're hearing it in church. You're hearing them, the liturgical ministers and the priests, reading the gospel, reading the word, and you're thinking this is,
And they're a trusted source.
Yeah,
For,
they're a trusted source
for you as someone in the congregation. Yeah.
Yeah, and in it, yeah, exactly, Jessica, in it deep. And so the thing is that, like, that missal that they give you, MISSAL, that's like this thick for the entire year. That's like less than 1% of the entire Bible. So you go and start reading the Bible. I'm talking, then that's when I saw Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, when I saw Exodus 21, when I saw, that's the one, that was like the big crack. And being a person of color, yeah, I got issues with slavery, right? So yep. I read that and I'm like, what the hell is all this? And then I go to, and so I'm still a believer though at this point. I'm still am. And then, reading it again and again, trying to get more answers, the answers weren't coming. It was just more questions. And then I think I noped out of Catholicism the day I understood, because after all those years, I didn't understand, but the day I understood that when they say the transformation that happens, when they say the body and blood of Christ becomes literally the body and blood of Christ, and you have to believe that as a Catholic, that's when I noped out of Catholicism. I'm like, nope, no blood magic. I'm not a cannibal. I'm done. I'm good. And then that's when I became a Christian, just a Christian. But I was still like thumping hard on the Bible at that point. And that's when I was like debating people, and I was beating people over the head with the Bible. And it just, because I thought that if I believe harder, if I bring people into the flock, then that would resolve all these unanswered questions that were inside of me. And it didn't. Led to addiction. That's what it led to. So
I hear you. I hear you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned something that because I've talked to Dark Knight about this as well. I actually gifted him this book, and it's by author Robert P. Jones. Have you ever heard of him by chance?
Haven't heard of him.
So he is a Baptist, but he's an academic, and he really analyzes the impact of white supremacy and Christianity in America. He has this excellent book called The Hidden Roots of White Supremacy and the Path to a Shared American Future. And in this book, he really analyzes how Christianity and white supremacy have been hand in hand since even before the colonization of the Americas,
Yeah.
and how that's impacted. And in this book specifically, he goes over 3 or 4 really interesting case studies of how Christianity has negatively impacted both, because I'm indigenous, both the Native communities in North America,
Oh
and
man,
also
it decimated the Native
Black
communities.
communities
Oh my goodness,
for
yeah,
sure. And it's just
decimated.
such a great analysis, especially if you're either Black or Native in America and have been Christian or are Christian, to really read this book, because it shows you such a great analysis of how this belief system tied in with white supremacy has impacted our people groups since the very beginning. So
Okay.
yeah, so Robert P. Jones, look him up. He has like 2 or 3 books out, and all of them are excellent. But that's a really, especially as someone who's former Christian, it was just really great insight
Noted.
As to how negatively impacted our communities have been. And,
Yeah.
for me, that's one of the reasons why I started my deconstruction, was a form of decolonization as well, kind of stripping away everything that had been forced upon me growing up, and from the Christian faith growing up, and how hand in hand it is with white supremacy, and kind of like as an act of revolt and rebellion, kind of decolonizing my own self, and then deconstruction came along with that.
Yeah. Oh, Made with Trash and Love. The link to the Discord. If you go to my profile and you click on the Linktree link, it's in there. And also be sure to copy and paste it into another browser. Don't do it within TikTok, or else you won't get there. So just letting you know. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, Robert P. Jones. Okay, noted. I'm gonna look that up, and I might buy all
I
of
think
his
you'd really
books.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I might check him out too.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would.
And you said earlier Leviticus 25:44 through 46 promotes slavery. Now, I was concerned about that passage too, and a lot of what I found online is that it actually doesn't promote slavery, and promotes like indentured servitude, which was
Let's cope.
a different form of labor at the time.
Yeah, it's cope, because it literally says in there, you may acquire slaves from all nations, and then they will be your property that you can hand down to your children. That's not indentured servitude. That's slavery. And indentured servitude is slavery, but it is chattel slavery. It is, they are
like
property.
definitionally.
It's definitionally chattel slavery. Yeah. People are considered property.
Yeah, they said that like the Israel and indentured servitude was much different from like Egyptian slavery at the time.
Yeah, and
yeah,
and it wasn't. Yeah, and the thing is also, if you go on eBay and just look for a slave Bible from like the 1800s, you can pick one up for like $15, and just read through that. And Leviticus 25:44 through 46 is in there. Oh, it's in there. Now, and then you got to ask yourself, well, why is it in there if it's just indentured servitude? Because if we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade, which was not indentured servitude, why is Leviticus 25:44 through 46 in the slave Bible?
Yeah, so what I found online was that it was just a way so people could make a living at the time.
Yeah.
And plus it was much more lenient. Like you weren't allowed to strike your workers more than once, or you were punished. Yeah, let me pull up Leviticus 21.
I mean, and to be fair, Nietzsche, like you can beat your slave so long as they don't die, or unalive in a couple of days.
So within 2 days, yeah, that's Exodus 21. I think I want to say like 16 or something like that, somewhere around there. Yeah.
So like whenever people say that, like I wonder, I've not really had anyone say that to me. All right, yeah, I have. I asked them, like, what are the key differences between the chattel slavery that's described in the Bible and what they consider to be slavery, which would be, the slavery that took place in the antebellum South? Like, what are the differences between them?
Exactly.
And because everything that they'll try to describe is applicable to both. Like, obviously, they are different because one is like race-based, and kind of certain conditions were different because of different time and different location. But like the act itself of owning someone as property, as transferable property for a lifetime, and then their children as property, like that is just definitionally chattel slavery, and that
Yeah.
is exactly the kind that took place in the antebellum South, or throughout the Americas, in fact.
Throughout the Americas, yeah, exactly. Definitely, and it was definitely, like Europeans like took it to another level, and so yeah, I think it's just trying to wash it away, saying, oh, it really wasn't. But man, you start asking people questions here, Nietzsche, it totally falls apart very, very fast. And I think that's the thing, is like all you got to do is you just got to drill down like two or three questions, and it's over. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Nerd Unleashed. How you doing?
Hi, Trust. I'm doing all right. I just wanted to hop up real quick to make a community announcement.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are aware, but Amadeus Almighty just lost his young son.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, I don't have any details about
goodness.
what happened, but Storm is organizing a trivia fundraiser for tonight. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
So they're trying to raise funds to help cover funeral and other related costs.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of making the rounds to make sure people are aware, so that if they'd like to help support a member of the community, they can come out and do that.
Okay.
If anybody's interested in donating, they're not setting up a GoFundMe, but you can send money via Venmo to Madam Storm.
Okay.
And if you guys are friends with Amadeus or with Storm has a post up on her account with further details.
Okay.
She's also planning like a murder mystery thing for tomorrow night, but she doesn't have a set time yet.
Okay. Thanks for letting us know. My goodness, that's terrible.
And who's live at 8 p.m.?
That'll be Storm. Her
Gotcha.
screen name, I think, is Madam E. Storm. Or something.
Madam E. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely. I'll be sure to pass that on around the rest of the lives. Okay. So we got 2 places to go tonight, everybody. First to Godless Engineers. We're going to raid Godless Engineer, and then unfortunately we're going to have to drain Godless Engineer and go to Madam Storm, so we can support that. My goodness, that's just man, that's just that's painful to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Wow. But thank you so much for sharing that with us, Nerd Unleashed. Thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm gonna hop down and see making the rounds to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah.
So,
Appreciate
thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll
Appreciate it.
see ya. All right. So David, 11223, how you doing?
Great.
All right, very good. Oh yeah, I changed the prompt. So are you here for we were just finishing up our deconstruction talk. Are you here? Are you a believer?
I'm an atheist. What's your best evidence that God is real?
Yeah, okay. So you're a believer? Which God do you believe in?
I'm Jewish, actually.
Oh, you're Jewish. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's hear it. What's your best evidence that God is real?
Okay. The way Judaism works is, the belief is that there were 60,000 people at Mount Sinai. Right? Did you look into this at all?
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I've heard this one. Yeah.
Okay,
And what was your... Well, why don't you finish it so that other people who haven't heard it? People of Judaism who come into my lives, this is the one they give me. But yeah, hold on. Yeah, give me... why don't you sum it up for people so I don't butcher it. Go ahead and let everybody know what you're talking about.
So if there's 60,000 people
I've got to hop down. Sorry, sorry to interrupt, David. I'm just gonna hop down. Thank you so much, and
Absolutely.
everyone have a good evening, and I'll be listening.
Yeah, have a great day, Oppo. Good to always see you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right. Sorry, go ahead and continue on, David.
Basically, if you would say that it's not true because someone made it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was somebody able to make something up that 60,000 people were there and seen it happen?
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I think the first thing I think of when I hear this is you could say that about just about any other event that happened, right? Like, why would somebody make something like that up? You know, because like we hear these saying arguments for other type of like miraculous events that happen, right? Muslims will say, well, you know, why would they make up Muhammad taking a winged horse to heaven? Or why do Hindus they have a guru that you know, heals people in front of 120,000 people? Why would they make that up? So does that mean those things happened?
No, I'm saying how if I would say 60,000 people are there, so prove me that this didn't happen. What would the person say?
Well, you can't prove it because you can't prove a negative like that, right? Like I said, it's, you know, that would just be the same as prove that Muhammad didn't take a winged horse to heaven. Can you prove that?
But you would say, well, somebody could have made it up and just said that happened, right?
It could have been a range of possibilities. Yeah. I mean, I'll even grant it's possible it could have happened. It's possible.
Can you give me one of the possibilities that could have happened?
That it could have happened?
That it hasn't happened. Give me a possibility that it couldn't have happened.
Okay. It could have been a weather phenomenon. It could have like multiple weather phenomenons. It could have been a mistaken thing for something having to do with the weather. It could be I don't know, just like a range of possibilities. But what I'm trying to understand, here's my question to you though. How does that demonstrate that God is real? Because we can't prove that it didn't happen. How does that demonstrate God is real?
Because if something didn't not happen, then it had to have happened.
Okay, so then that means that Muhammad did take a winged horse to heaven because we can't prove it didn't happen.
But Muhammad was, how many people witnessed the winged horse going to heaven?
I'm not sure. I think a few people witnessed it.
So again, another thing that it was only a few people.
Okay.
Judaism is the only religion that has more than I think the number is 10, around there.
Okay. What's the cutoff for people that have to witness something before it becomes true?
There's no specific cutoff, but when it gets to 60,000, how are you telling somebody that your ancestors were somewhere?
Okay. And then, okay, so we have, okay, but see, it is a claim, right? Did any of the 60,000 independently write about this? Like outside of the Bible?
No.
Okay. So we don't have independent verification because this is the same thing as the 500 witnesses who Christians claim saw the resurrected Jesus, right? So by your logic, that means that Jesus resurrected from the dead.
But Jesus telling that story with Jesus was telling that 600 people told.
Yeah, 500 people. That's why I asked you, what's the cutoff? So are you saying then that 500 people is not enough? 500 witnesses isn't enough?
500 people that what? That said something happened?
That said they saw the resurrected Jesus.
I think 500 is enough.
Yeah. So are we saying that that's not enough? 500 is enough, but 60,000, I mean.
60,000 is a much larger number that can.
Sure. But we don't have any independent writings from any of these people. We don't know the names of these people. We don't even know who they are. It's just 60,000 people.
Yes, but wherever it started, it had to have had those 60,000 people that agreed that.
Yeah. Right. So it had to have those 60,000 people. but we don't know the names of these 60,000 people. We can't independently verify what they saw, how they saw it, when it happened, anything. It's just so at that point, it's just basically a claim.
If there were like 60,000 independent verifications of what happened and there were no contradictions among them, then I'll be like, oh, hold on, there's something here.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Yeah. Even if there were even like tiny contradictions, right? Nietzsche, like for example, if somebody said, well, it happened at 3 p.m. and another person said, well, it happened at 2:55 p.m. or 3:05 p.m. I can handle that. I could deal with that.
How do you still know that story of 60,000 people now if it wasn't 60,000 people that were there? Because the claim would just be stopped right away if no one else heard about that.
Right. But I'm saying, how do you verify that there were 60,000 people there? Like, what's the independent verification of that happening? Because this supposedly happened during while they were in the Sinai Desert, right? Isn't that when this happened? Okay. So here's the other problem, David. We don't have any like archaeological or any like evidence that anybody was in the Sinai Desert from that time. Like there were supposedly like millions of people in that desert, or hundreds of thousands of people in that desert who wandered for 40 years, and it's basically the size of like a suburb, like a portion of a city, right? Very, very small section relatively for hundreds of thousands of people to live. We haven't found like any clay pots. We haven't found like any old fires that have burned. We didn't any like busted buildings, nothing. We found nothing.
So I'm asking, how would we still have that story of 60,000 people if it didn't happen?
I would say that's the same as the Muslims having a story about Muhammad splitting the moon, Muhammad taking a winged horse to heaven, the Buddhists having Buddha achieving nirvana and going somewhere, the Hindus and their stories, Norse pagans and their stories, ancient Greek gods and their stories. You know,
those aren't witnessing God firsthand.
Witnessing God firsthand. Yeah, but again, we don't have independent verification of that.
We have we have a story that people that we still know right now that 60,000 people witnessed it.
That we can't verify that happened. Like you just told me that we don't have anybody who independently wrote about this. We have no way to verify it. So why should we believe it? Like here's another example. We have good evidence, like excellent evidence, that Hannibal tried to invade Rome by crossing the Alps. I think the French Alps, I think. He went around through Spain and then France, and he tried to cross the French Alps to attack Rome, right? There was, up until recently, there was only written documentation of that. And we took it as good because there were independent sources that verified this, and it was written at the time it happened. Now, here's the thing, David. Recently, I think as recent, I want to say within the last 10 years, archaeologists actually verified this happened. And you know how they verified it happened?
How did they verify it?
They verified it because they found like elephant footprints in the mountains in places where it had no business being. They found like old weapons that like soldiers had dropped. Because they weren't fighting, but they were just trying to get there. So like they had lost weapons. They found like camps that had been abandoned, and they found like relics from the camps, like broken pots and like broken tents and like old fire pits, things like that. They found like forensic evidence or just things that these because it was supposedly hundreds of thousands of soldiers who were marching through to get to Rome, and they found all this. And so they verified it to be true. And see, that's the thing. We don't have anything like that for what you're telling us.
Trust, we had the early kick poll goal.
Oh, do you? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. I just saw that up there too. So appreciate you. Okay, we'll start the early kick poll. But yeah, so I see what you're saying though. I mean, it's a pretty strong like thing. Like, oh man, 60,000 people, say this. But beyond that, we don't have anything to verify the claim. Am I making sense?
I understand what you're saying, but those 60,000 people, how can it be that it's still known now, those 60,000 people, if it never happened?
Well, again, because it's in the Bible, right? For one thing, right? It is in the Bible.
Yes.
So that's number one. So it's there. And so then that means it's just the same as all the claims like in the Bhagavad Gita for Hinduism. Same claims. They have extraordinary claims too in there.
But the claim is 60,000 people, and it wouldn't be believed at all unless
Right.
you're saying that the Bible was found a few thousand years after it happened.
Okay.
And one guy read it and told everybody.
So again, 500 people who witnessed Jesus resurrected, 30,000 people who witnessed what's it called? Nero resurrecting. That means that those actually happen, right? It's 30,000 people that witnessed Nero. So is that enough?
And if that happened.
So are you saying that happened? The 30,000 people witnesses?
I don't know if that happened. I'm not aware if that happened, but.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're aware. It's the same level of evidence you're giving us. It's just not, instead of 60,000, it's 30,000. That's why I asked you what the cutoff is.
And
so, yeah. So you think, so Nero did resurrect from the dead then? Okay. All right. Well, hey, David, they did, the chat has voted to move on. We had an early kick poll, so I appreciate you coming up. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. Yeah. So that's the thing, man. It doesn't, I mean, okay. So then what if somebody comes along? What if we get a Hindu that comes along and says, well, I've got witnesses that 70,000 people saw this guru heal people. Okay. So is that, how does the number of people demonstrate that something is true? The claim.
And he was going to keep repeating the claim over and over and over, like he didn't address it. Like, we heard you.
Yeah, exactly. You heard that. That's why I kept asking
the first
I think
7 times.
Yeah.
I think that number only matters if there's that amount of like independent verification that indeed happened. You can even accept a little bit of contradiction, like you see in the Bible, like between Matthew and Luke. Like, what did one thief mock Jesus, or did two?
Right.
It's like a minor contradiction, but it's still in there.
Yeah.
But I guess you could still say that Jesus was indeed crucified. Like, even as like agnostic, like atheist, I still wouldn't deny the historical Jesus.
Yeah.
Because there are plenty of independent verification that he did indeed exist outside of Christianity, even with Josephus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the 1st century.
Thank you, faith to free thought. That's exactly it. The appeal to popularity fallacy. That's exactly what that is. Because everybody's saying it happened. It's the same thing as somebody coming in our lives saying, well, Christianity is true because it is the most popular religion on earth. So what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a bandwagon fallacy.
Yeah, bandwagon fallacy. Yeah, another way to put it. Donovan Scott, I'm not going to even contest that. Zero evidence of the historical Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I am like strictly on the fence because I mean, I've read Christ Before Jesus' book, which is an amazing book, by the way. So if you haven't read it, you guys please go get it. Christ Before Jesus, and it's an amazing book. And Enika, yeah, I'm with you, Enika. Now, to me, from like a rhetorical standpoint, like as a talking point, it makes no difference whether or not we say Jesus existed or didn't exist. I think it is a good read. F. Agreed. I think you could argue it from both ends. You could go down that rabbit hole if you want to, and just dig into the stylometry and the non, the lack of sense it makes for Jesus to exist. But even then, if you just accept it, then you can just be like, okay, well, that doesn't mean he's the son of God, because there's no evidence that he rose from the dead.
I think that's what I'm like most sorts leaning to. Mm-hmm. Like, I definitely think there was like a historical Jesus who did
you're right,
claim all these things.
Yeah. It's still a fun argument. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think even like most like biblical or New Testament scholars believe that there was indeed a historical Jesus due to just the amount of sources corroborating that his existence. But it still doesn't mean that he's the son of God. Like, he literally, I guess you have to wonder, like, why are there so many accounts of he healed all these people then? I mean, like, what would you say to that? Like, there's so many throughout the Bible.
You know what's interesting?
You think that'd just be like word of mouth?
Yeah, like Nietzsche, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same argument this guy was given, right? Like, oh, well, there's all these people. Like, he fed 5,000 people with loaves and fishes, right? He turned 3 loaves and 3 fishes into feeding 5,000 people. There were 5,000 witnesses for that. I mean, it's the same exact thing. How do you verify it? It sounds like lore. It sounds like a story. So if we see, here's the thing: what would have made his argument so powerful, even if he had said, yes, there were 60,000 people who saw the face of God, and if there were, I'd say maybe as little as 5 people who independently wrote about it, and we verified that those are contemporary writings, and they had their name on it, and they all said basically the same thing. And it's independent, though, not in the same book like the Bible, but maybe 5. All and we independently verify these. And let's just say, like, somebody was from, I don't know, somebody was from Egypt. Another person was from, I don't think Rome was around back then, but, it just, like, we start, oh, hey, okay, I got to finish this point, and then we have some laws that we have to follow. We have a law that we have to follow, but yeah, I mean, if there was independent verification, even just from a handful of sources, a handful of people, that'd be way more powerful. It'd be more believable. But it's just nothing more than a claim. That's all it is.
Can I say something very quick?
Absolutely.
Hammy said, how long is it going to take Trust to notice I'm here? That was at 6:02. It's now 6:17. So gifts for me, because I guessed exactly on point. Thank you.
Did you? Did you say 15 minutes?
Receipts.
I have been in the chat. No. Let me explain this to you, Trust. Not only have I been in the chat for quite a long time, but I had sent first I had sent the cowboy hat.
Oh
Nothing.
my goodness, was that you?
Then I sent the galaxy. Nothing. And immediately after you see the galaxy pop up on screen, you read a random comment. And it's like, at that point, it started to feel kind of personal.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. No, I'm old. I'm old, man. I'm an old head. I'm an old head. Okay, there we go. At least I have your music.
Yes, the music.
Okay. Hammy is here, everybody. The good Hammy.
We are reading the one that I told you I was going to read.
Yes.
Which is The Ruckus.
Awesome.
The Ruckus by Dr. Seuss. On the top of a hill on the island of Zort lived a bird called the Ruckus, whose favorite sport was making loud noises. It gave him a thrill to be known as the loudest mouthed bird on the hill. Then one day he thought, I can be louder still. My voice is terrific. It ought to be heard on many more islands than this, said the bird. So he made his voice stronger, till one day he found that he learned how to make a tremendous big sound that shook every island for 50 miles round. I say, laughed the Ruckus, I am a great guy, but I can do better than that if I tried. I'll build up my voice. Well, I'll practice a year. I'll cook up a noise that the whole world will hear. And after he'd practiced for 52 weeks, the Ruckus let loose with a mouthful of shrieks that burst from his throat like the moans and the groans of 10,000 elephants blowing trombones. He yapped and he yodeled, he yelped and he yelped. He gargled, he snarled, he burped and he blipped. And the sound went to China and knocked down 3 cats. And in England, it blew off 8 bus drivers' hats. Oh boy, bragged the Ruckus, I'm really some bird. I've opened my mouth and I've made myself heard. Then a little old worm crawled out of the ground. That's true, said the worm. That was quite a big sound. But I have a question to ask, if I may. You made yourself heard. But just what did you say? And the worm turned his back and slid softly away.
Yay! Thank you, good Hammy. Thank you. Now his exit music.
Yes.
Oh, wait. All right. So, for anyone who is wondering what the fuck is going on, totally understandable. We are just simply following law. The chat some months ago issued a referendum and voted that anytime Hammy comes into the chat, he must read something to us. And so this is just simply Hammy. Oh, and also he shall, thank you. He shall read something to us. And I shall play both introductory music and exit music at the end. That are trumpet music. That's right. It has to be a trumpet. So we're simply following the law. That's all we're doing.
One of the funniest things is I just got done reading that, and there was a commenter who said, "Y'all being silly atheists," and then said, "I'm tired, not gonna lie." The thing is that the story I read was about the fact that people open their mouths and they say a bunch of stuff, but they don't really say anything at all, and you just kind of proved that point.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, I think you know what, you're my Geddon. That's great. We should just call this Hammy's Law. That's just what it's called. It is Hammy's Law. Hammy's Law. Hammy's Law. That's all it is. It's Hammy's Law. So I think we're the only live on all of TikTok that has a law like that. Like it's been voted on. Like it's like legislation. But yeah, I know in my neck of the woods, we refer to it as talking loud, saying nothing.
Jessica says Hammy's Law is a new core memory for me.
Yeah, new core memory. Yeah. So that's all
Whenever
we're doing.
I'm long gone, Jessica is going to be telling people, like in the old folks' home, Hammy's Law, and people are going to be like, what is going
Hammy's
on?
Law?
What, is she okay?
What is
that? She okay?
Yeah. Is she all right? Oh, Hammy's Law. It'll and she'll look upon it fondly too. Yeah. So yeah,
yes,
as she's completing her puzzle, yeah, as she's doing her jigsaw puzzle, yeah, and like a wistful like smile will come across her face. Hammy's Law. Oh man.
Yeah, that's gonna be me reflecting on the good old days.
Yeah, exactly.
Hammy used to read to us in a delightful voice.
And then, okay, Grandma. You're gonna have the grandkids coming in, and you're gonna just be like, Hammy's Law, it was a real thing, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, Grandma.
Exactly. That's okay, Grandma.
Hammy
Duke Hammy of Hamburg.
Look, it is actually the Duke of Hamburger. Thank you.
So yeah, so that's all we're doing. So so now that we've gotten through that, anybody who wants to guest up and let's talk about the prompt now. The prompt has changed, as you guys see. So what's your best evidence that God is real? So we did do the deconstruction talk, and that was fun. That was I really enjoyed that. So I think that's going to be like a permanent Friday thing. We're going to do like first half deconstruction, second half discussions. Yeah, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And just people coming up and just sharing their stories. I just wish I had like I'm gonna butts with TikTok Live Studio, because I want to have like more spots. Like if you have the phone app, you have like, isn't there like 8 spots or 9 spots or something like that, or 10 spots? Isn't that what it is? Yeah.
You have the host, and then there's 8 more spots.
8 more spots, yeah. And this one you only have host plus 6. So, I'm like maxed out at 6, and that kind of sucks. So I'd like to get a couple more, so that people aren't waiting, or want to feel like that they can come up. And Yeah. So here's to our lives being meaningless and how beautiful it is because freedom doesn't have a purpose. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's not. And that's the thing is like, even like, I think that's the other thing. Like, okay, what do you guys say? Hammy, what do you say to somebody like to a theist who says, well, what's the purpose of us being here? What's your answer?
My answer to what the purpose of us being here
Yeah.
is?
Why are we here then? Yeah. This is really what it comes down to, right? Sort of.
If it depends. Are we talking about like are we talking about like the whole entire like the meaning to life sense, or are we talking about like physically, like why are we here? Because I have answers for that. If we're going like I can give the scientific explanation of why we are here, but if we're going on a more metaphysical, like why are we here, like the philosophical route.
I think it depends who you ask, or depends who's asking, because some mean the physical reason we're here, and then some mean the metaphysical reason. So yeah, give us both.
So the physical reason we're here is because, well, shit happens. like literally, like it sounds funny to say it like that, but the thing is like literally, like whenever you look at the formation of star systems and stuff like that, and how like rocks end up banging together and solidifying and all that stuff, like it's literally just shit going together and then creating things, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's a simplified to a platitude of just like shit happens, you know, type of deal. But literally, that's kind of what it is. And then when we go for the more metaphysical thing, is that I don't really think that there's like an intrinsic purpose, that we give ourselves this purpose. Like I find meaning in life by, you know, trying to leave it better than what it was given to me in, right? So I try to do that stuff, and so whenever we talk about this, it's like, why does there need to be some grand overarching scheme in order for there to be any kind of meaning?
Right.
That to me never made sense.
Right. Oh, I think Jessica, you summed it up very wisely and perfectly. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, like Cammy said, there's no need for a purpose. We're just here. Like, it is what it is. You create your own purpose. Like, we're here, so we might as well just do what we want. You know, obviously being kind to other people, but you find your own purpose. Just like somebody said in the comments, like, why don't theists think it's exciting to find your own purpose? Like, that's fun, discovering who you are and just exploring the world. Whatever, it's like a big, you know, puzzle.
Exactly.
So
that's exactly true. Hey, board agnostic, how you doing?
I would even say that if you need somebody, some overarching scheme in order to make like life here meaningful, I would say that's a lack of imagination. Like that's a skills issue on your behalf.
Period.
Yeah, exactly. Or
like, why do you need a book?
Yeah.
To tell you what the purpose is.
Yeah, we're here and we didn't ask to be. I mean, yeah, all these are great answers. And you know, and you know, and just the classical, I don't know. But why does it matter? Like, why do we need to know? Like, why does it have to be that that God has to exist to give us purpose? Why can't we just have our own purpose? Give us our what if our purpose is to find our purpose? Maybe that's what it is. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. It could be anything.
So it's not the gotcha that they act like, you know. Well, what's your purpose then? Like, bro, I'm chilling.
Right. Steve Irwin made it his life's goal, his life mission, his purpose on this world to educate everybody on animals and how, like, you should never come in contact with them, let them be, let them live, you know. And I don't find that purpose any less meaningful than your, like, a Christian's purpose of God put us here to worship him.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of us being here other than God's own ego?
Yeah. And to me, honestly, that is extremely, like, I don't know, that seems depressing to me.
Yeah.
And I'm here because I gotta worship unto God.
It does. It's like think of it like this. Let's say that today I end up bumping my head and losing all memory of everything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no memory of the scientific background that the scientific stuff I know, or the religious stuff. And a person comes up to me and I ask them, "Hey, why am I here? Like what's the purpose of me being here?" Like, if your answer is going to be, well, there's this big mighty being that is like he's totally real, but like you just can't see him. He's somewhere out there, but he's not in our we can't find him exactly. But we are here to worship this being. Like we are here to praise him and give him glory. But he's not going to really show up much, like he doesn't show up for you. Like he's not going to give you anything to doing this.
Yeah, that'd be like yeah. You know what? That would be like a great skit video. Like those videos you see where like the person plays both parts.
Right.
And, it'd be like the first person's you just wake up out of a coma, right? And you have like no memory of anything. And it's like, okay, well, what am I here for? And then the other person just said what you said. Well, we're here to worship this being. Okay, great. Where's he at? Well, you can't see him.
Oh well, you can't see him.
He's
here. He's here in all things, but he's not like physically here. You know? He's here, but he's not here.
Okay, fine. So that we can get him on the phone, then we can talk to him.
Well, no, we can't get him on the phone because he doesn't have a body, right? He's like this unincorporated mind that is out there in the cosmos.
Oh, okay, so I can send him an email then, or I can send him a text message.
Well, he doesn't really have a phone or email. Like he's just there, okay? Like he's there, but he's not. Like you understand what I'm saying, right?
No, I don't at all. Yeah, exactly. It just completely falls apart.
But regardless of where he is, the thing is we are sent here to give him praise and to worship him.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
to have everything be given up to the glory of him.
Okay, so if we give up the glory, what do we? Where does it go? Yeah.
But what do you mean? Where does it go? It goes to God. It goes to Him.
Yeah. It just really it just completely falls apart. Well, yeah. And then just all these explanations.
And it's funny because I put on the funny voice, but I feel like that's like, to me in my head, that's how it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds funny. It sounds funny to sit there and do that.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it totally is. No, soy sauce. This is Hammy. You know who Hammy is. Come on. Unless that's a different soy sauce. That might be a different soy sauce. But
this is Hammy, the Hamothy of Hamburger.
The Hamothy, yeah. And Inika, that's a great point. Where does the glory go? Exactly. Like, where does the glory go? Does it float into outer? Does it float above us? Like, does the glory escape from our heads and just goes that way?
But the glory is not a physical object. It's something that you just give. You give it, okay?
No, we give glory.
Like, stop asking questions about the glory. The glory is just the glory.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it already.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you don't feel it, you'll never get it. Okay. And so then that means black ice art work stunt, blah, 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 553. Yes, please, number one, no caps. But number two, black ice artworks. That means that every religion and every belief is true. You've just demonstrated that if we take that as evidence and we believe what you say, that means what is it, 4,200? Anywhere from 4,200 to 10,000 religions and thousands of gods. It's all true. All of it. Paint me hamified. Yes. We are all hamified. All of us are 7 Lemons.
Oh, this is going to be the Hammy preacher voice now. Lord, give hail to our one true God and prophet, Charles Darwin. He has
Yes.
given us everything from the evolution to the evolution.
Well, wait, Washman, if the glory goes through a hole in the men's bathroom, what is that called?
It is called the... Wow. Sir.
I think we talked about that before. Yeah. Whoa. Wait.
Wait. I just need you to get the mind out the gutter, okay?
Holy glory.
Holy glory.
Is that how, are we sure that's what it's called?
Yes, it's called the Holy Glory.
Okay.
Don't ask any more questions about the Holy Glory.
Don't ask anymore. Okay. So, I mean, have I talked about Christianization? I think, yeah, actually we did a little bit during the deconstruction time. We did a little bit. There's actually a book, Robert P. Jones, who discusses Christianization. Yes. Amongst indigenous people and peoples of color and all that. Yeah. Robert P. Jones. Remember that, everybody.
And this is the funniest thing is like we see the Christianization of like people of color quite clearly, like, because like, so for instance, I have a book where are you, book? Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. It's called The Slave Trade by Hugh Thomas. And in this book, it goes across the entire transatlantic slave trade, and it's a very, very thick book, right? Because it goes from the 1400s all the way up until the ending of slavery in the U.S. And in there, he talks about how one of the things that whenever it came to the abolition movement is that, of course, he brings up England and Aberforth, who was very big on ending the slave trade. However, whenever you actually look, or Wilberforce, that's his name. When you look at Wilberforce in England, whenever he's talking about it, he's not ever actually mentioning people of color. He was upset about the enslavement of like his fellow white man, the Irish and the other white people who were being enslaved during the time frame. And then whenever we move over to the abolition movement here in the States, what we see is that we see this forced Christianization of the black slave. And what ends up happening is once we see this forced Christianization, we see a bunch of Christians feeling a certain type of way that they are enslaving their fellow Christians now. And so the abolition movement was never about people of color and the fact that they are human beings. It was, my tummy hurts that we made these people Christian and now my fellow Christian is enslaved.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like we see like had that not have happened, then the abolition movement would have been strictly ran by the North, who were like, hey, we're moving more industrial than we are agricultural, so we kind of want this to be done with. Let's stop. Which, again, I'm not saying is at all humanizing for the people of color, but it would have probably taken a little bit longer than the Christians getting upset tummies.
Yeah. I think that was one thing. But the fact that it never ever materialized into, doing this to fellow humans is wrong. Well, because people of color were never seen as human. And so, yeah, absolutely right. So if you are a Christian, a Muslim, or of the faith of Judaism, and you have evidence that God is real, please request up. And you have to be at least 18. So you have to be in believing the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. And you have to be at least 18, and please have evidence that your God is real. So we're here to talk to you. We'd like to do that. Now, think of us all who are in here as people that you can, lost sheep. We have 75 lost sheep here and that you can bring back to the fold. That's on the TikTok side. And on the YouTube side, we have 35 lost sheep over there So all these lost sheep, 105 lost sheep that you could bring back to the flock. Think of it that way. So we're here. We're waiting.
Potato Potato did say that you can't say Jews. It's okay.
I can't say that? Well, I said Judaism.
No, you can say it.
Oh, I can say it?
You can say Jews,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can say that, yeah. So
the way Rab points it out is it's fine to say Jews. It's not fine to say it while pointing.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Good. Okay. Good visual. I like that. I'll just say if you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. I think that's like the safest one. So
that's the safest way, just in case.
Safest way, just in case. Just in case, yeah. Because, I don't want to offend anybody, even accidentally. And so, yeah, that's who we want to talk to. I don't think I'm very interested in talking to any like pantheists or deists today. Because it usually ends up being a very, very short conversation, or it kind of goes like way sideways. It's like one of the two. And it never really, just never really gets off the ground. Do you believe in the devil? No, we don't. So that was easy. If that was your evidence, Augustine, I don't believe in the devil. So apparently there's no Jesus. That was quick.
We've solved the problem. We've won. We won early tonight.
10 seconds. Wow. That was like the fastest one. Fastest talk. Well, do you believe in the devil? No. Oh.
I've been bamboozled.
Yeah. No. You're fine to ask. You're fine to ask, Augustine. But if that was your evidence, then we're kind of done here. Yeah, that's true. Hip Hop Anonymous. Yeah. I can make you believe in the devil. You think so? I don't know, man.
Hip Hop Anonymous.
Okay, just kidding. Yeah.
It just Hip Hop Anonymous just reminds me of the Big Daddy movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, fish, pony, hip hop Anonymous.
But yeah, that is true. That sounded like an invite. Yeah. Yeah. If God created the devil, what does that say about God? That's a great question, board agnostic. Great question. And by the way, man, board agnostic, man, I love watching your lives. A lot of times I'll just watch from the hallway, and just the way you just dismantle people. It's honestly, if I was a theist and I went into your live, I would be very scared. Not gonna lie. It's very scary.
I have seen board agnostic around, and I haven't seen any of his things, so I followed him so that way I can check it out.
Yeah, you should watch the live. Oh man! And on top of that, there is the I like to. Yeah, you got to come up and talk about it. What I love, not only are you board agnostic, like just fantastic at what you do, but you have like the the pit venom, the viper pit that's just waiting as well. You're like, I'll be right back, everybody. And then everybody else just does it too. So how you doing, friend?
It's chaos, bro. It's chaos. It's chaos sometimes.
Isn't it though?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. It's so good to see you.
Good. It's good to see you as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to calm down on some of the craziness. I know, but I don't know. It's good sometimes to just like let off some steam. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's needed sometimes as people are deconstructing.
Yes.
Anger can be a predominant emotion there.
Absolutely.
Right? I think it's totally valid as people are deconstructing.
Yes.
To be angry at the church, to be angry at Christians, to be angry at theology.
Absolutely.
And so, but I'm not sure that is constructive when we're having these conversations with Christians sometimes.
Absolutely.
So,
and just so I don't mess this up, what are your pronouns? Just so I'm.
Yeah, she, her.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to be 100% sure. Yeah. Okay.
So
no worries.
Board. The funniest thing is like I also understand the feeling to feel angry about all that stuff, but what's so funny is whenever you don't have any of that anger, and they still try to come at you as if, oh, well, you're just angry at the church. I'm like, no, as a matter of fact, my time in church was fine. I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Whenever I became an atheist,
I was fine with it.
I didn't get angry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you're just angry at God. It's like, no, I'm not angry at God either.
No,
like,
really.
I don't think he exists. Like, that's it. It's like, oh, well, you're just angry at this. It's like, why are you trying to paint me as something angry? Like, I'm just not.
Yeah, the old church
but if you
as Inika says, yeah.
Yeah, but if you are, it's completely valid, right?
And that's okay.
It's
exactly.
Completely valid to feel that way. It was so interesting. Sorry, I'm kind of going off on a tangent now, but
no, go ahead.
It was interesting. We asked questions in the Discord once a week, and the question this week was like, were you angry which is the topic what we're talking about right now, is like, were you angry and how did you deal with that? And I started thinking, and I'm like, yeah, man, I was pissed when I first started deconstructing because I felt lied to. I was upset that I'd lost so many years of my life, a lot of my childhood towards this religion, right? I don't know a lot of like prominent media from my childhood or in my teenage years because I spent a lot of time in church, almost 7 days a week there, right? Praising God, putting all of my energy into that and furthering the kingdom of God that, like, you know, a lot of that has been lost. And of course, I'm not the only one. So of course I was angry. Of course I was upset. And then, of course, the follow-up is like, how do you deal with that? And therapy is huge. I cannot encourage people to go to therapy.
Big W for therapy. That helped me.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. But then, like, having these conversations and listening to these conversations is huge, right? Learning from a different perspective, learning that, well, I wasn't right the first time, so I can definitely be wrong again, right? I can continue to be wrong.
Yeah.
And that's just a part of learning and growing, and that's something that we should aim to do and aim to be like.
Yeah. And you know, and if you guys think I'm calm, again, sit in on one of Board's lives.
Oh, I'm not calm.
Oh, I know. Hey, look, we're not robots, right? But oh no, it's surgical. It's just absolutely surgical. That's how I see it. Like, you're just cutting people up, just slicing them, just picking them apart. And I
can see Board up here just doing all that, and then just like whenever they're getting angrier, it's like, oh, so tell me, how does that make you feel? Like, how do you feel about this?
Thank God I'm not like an armchair therapist, you know. But I was just talking about how you are incredibly patient and kind to people, and how I aspire to take that with me. You know, I think I love that part of you and how you approach these different conversations. That's huge. And obviously you're making a difference. I mean, I've listened to you have these conversations for hours with one person and really completely do a 180 with their way of thinking. And that's a skill. That's incredible.
Thank you.
It's very impressive to watch.
I gotta say, I gotta be honest with me. I think being cis helps that a lot, because as a male, I don't get not nearly the arrows that other creators get, like non-binary or queer, women. I don't get nearly that amount. I mean, yeah, I get that because of my color, but it's not nearly the same. Yeah. So it's a lot easier, but.
There's been times whenever I've been on Thrill's panel where and I've been up there with Kat in a vat, and like Kat will start asking questions, and this dude will just be like, yeah, blah 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 over her, and then I was like, hey man, and I start asking questions that are kind of similar to Kat's, and he just remains quiet the entire time I'm speaking.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, it gets really, really frustrating for the women and, the other content creators to just, why the fuck are you doing this? Like why? Just why?
It's patriarchy. It's the best way I can put it. It's patriarchy. Yeah.
And as a woman in this space, I think it's a lot of emotional regulation, right? It's a lot of, and period, when you have like conversations with Christians, you'll even notice, even as a cis man, right? Like people will come up onto the lives on 100, and they're incredibly emotional and offended that you're talking about their God, and they take it so incredibly personally. And so a lot of that is just like conflict resolution. Let's calm the situation down so we can like talk like regular human beings, you know? I've had to tell several people this week, like, hey, I'm giving you a platform so that way, you know, you can share your beliefs and I'm willing to hear you out. Please don't, you know, don't disrespect my panel like that.
Exactly.
Don't take it for granted. I want to know what you believe, and in fact, I'm listening to you when you tell me. Like, what an opportunity, you know? Like, come on.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Totally agree. And that's the approach I've been taking as of late. Just like this week, I've like, if you guys have noticed, I've kind of altered my approach just slightly. I tweaked it into just like what you said, Board. Just explaining, like making it clear to them, look, this is your chance to convert people. So, you know, there's no need to get out of pocket. There's no need to do this, you know, minister to us like what your Bible says to do. So make us disciples. What are you going to say to do that? I mean, if you're up here just to argue and fight with us, I mean, that's not what your Bible says to do. So, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I mean, if your goal is just to do that and not really convert people, well, you're not really following your, you might not even be a real Christian. I just say that.
And while they're doing that, I like to like especially like whenever they bring up the Bible, I like to kind of like play dumb a bit, where I'm like, oh really, what does it say there? And then get them to explain it, and then get them to explain all these other verses. I'm like, hey, what about this verse? Well, like, can you tell me what this verse says exactly? Like, what's the message it's trying to relay? I don't know. I'm not a Christian. I don't know these things.
Yeah. Well, let me just to try to start some controversy here. Maybe
Let's
a Christian
go.
might want to come up.
Let's go.
I've been asking that question on my lives recently, which is like, why did God create Satan? Right?
I've seen that. Yes, that was a prompt. Yeah, I've seen that.
Exactly. Yeah. And ultimately, what does that say about the character of God? Right? If you create a being that does nothing but sin and harm others, what does that say about you? Right? If I created something that only hurt other people, what would that say about my character?
Exactly.
Right? I wouldn't be a very good person. I probably wouldn't be a person that you should follow. At least I hope not.
Yeah.
So what does that say about God? What does that say about his character?
Exactly.
That's a great point. I never even thought about it like that.
Great point. Yeah. See, just that's why we have to branch out and watch other creators, because I mean, that's how I like get all these good ideas from like watching other creators and just kind of just studying what they do. And it's
I have a really spicy prompt that I want to run once I start doing lives again.
What's that?
And it's,
we won't steal it, I promise. Well, maybe not.
Well, I mean, you can if you want to. But the Bible is propaganda.
That's propaganda for what, though, is the question.
Yeah, that's a question. Yeah. Which you can get into, so you can take that in all kinds of different directions. Yeah, that's great.
So just putting up the title, the Bible is propaganda. And it there's going to be some people who might come in hot and heavy, and then other people are going to be like, oh, I found this prompt very interesting. What do you mean by this?
Yeah.
And then it opens up the door.
Let me interrupt one quick thing. I just want to answer Augustine's question in the chat. Can you prove he doesn't exist? Hey, little one. Can you prove he doesn't exist? Well, see, here's the thing, Augustine. That's just like saying to somebody, can you prove Santa Claus doesn't exist? Or if a Hindu came up to you and said, can you prove that Krishna doesn't exist? You would probably look at him all sideways, right? And so it goes to show that the person who doesn't believe doesn't have the burden of proof. It's the person who believes it and makes the affirmative claim. They're the ones who have the burden of proof. So that's why, and also that's why it says in your Bible, Matthew 28, verses 19 through 20, make disciples of all the nations and teach them how to obey the commands that I've given you. You know, 1 Peter 3, verse 15, be prepared to give a defense and when somebody demands the accounting that's of the hope that's within you. So you have the burden, and even your Bible acknowledges that. All right, continue on, panel, please.
And I think, I mean, this might be a little Phil Bro-ish, but I think if we start to add characteristics to this God, we can 100% disprove him. For instance, if you add the characteristics that this God is all good and the creator of all things, then creating a being like Satan would disprove his existence.
Absolutely.
There's a contradiction there.
Absolutely.
So if we have this like ambiguous version of a God, well, that might be harder to disprove. But if we're talking about a God with very set characteristics, we can 100% disprove that those types of gods don't exist.
Exactly.
Oh, if we just
100% agree.
include, if we just even just going with the he's the creator of all things, like time itself disproves that God exists.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, you want to get into some Philbro shit. Okay, yeah, we're probably gonna lose at least 10 people, but I'm gonna say it real quick. I totally get it, because
I steadily have been dropping people since I've been on. Maybe I need a drop.
Oh no, I think it's just because like nobody's coming in to do that. I'm I only got like another like 20-25 minutes anyway, so it's no big deal. I'm happy talking to friendlies. I'm happy, so I'm in my happy space. But I was looking up. I went to this rabbit hole the other night. So this is more sciencey, but I went to this rabbit hole the other night about like modern physics and how they think of reality as fields. Like that's the evidence that they've been gathering. Like you've got the Higgs field, you've got the gravity field and quantum field and all this other stuff, right? And that these fields are all around us and they interact with each other, and they're what cause particles to come in and out of existence, right? And essentially, if you think about it like that, that means that if the fields are what our reality is, just like what you just said, Hammy, it just completely dismantles the idea that there's this God that's outside of time and space and all this other stuff, because because you've got these fields that you interact with, and everything we know about our reality is, what we see, what we observe. So the idea that there is this God that is timeless and space, outside of time and space. So then you got to think to yourself, well, how does this God act outside of time? Because you need time for change, right? So how does this God affect change? Number one. Number two, if time and space are interwoven like that, and we've demonstrated that, well, then if this God is outside of time, he's also outside of space. Then how do you occupy space if you're a being without space? It's not possible. It just completely flies in the face of everything we know about our reality, completely. So it just ends up being special pleading.
Yeah. Board, do you ever get the Christian that comes up there that, for whatever reason, just from the very beginning all the way up until like the end of it, has refused to acknowledge that they are Christian? Like they'll sit there and say, "Oh, I believe in a God," or they'll sit there and dance around the fact that they're Christian until like they're pinned up against the wall.
Yeah, I think there's multiple reasons for that. I think one, people just really want to talk about their God, and if you are only looking for Christians, they're going to try to just shoehorn their way in there as much as they can, so that way they can talk about their God.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is that people really don't like the term Christian. They have all these like issues with it, historical problems, whatever the case is, and they want to be called believers or Jesus followers or whatever. But to me, a Christian is just a follower of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a follower of Jesus, you're a Christian to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about how other people define it. That's how I define the word. And so that's it.
I got a one question test for that. I stole this from Deconstruction Zone, by the way. So you see, I steal a lot of things from different people, but the one question test I give is can you say the words, "I denounce Jesus as my personal savior"? And easy, because if they're like that closet Christian that you've been talking about, Board, they won't say it. They'll give you all kinds of excuses.
Yeah, then that's good.
I've
Yeah.
seen on Thrills Live where basically what happens is they'll sit there and say that, oh, well, I just believe in a God. And it's like, okay. And then we try to get down to what, and they keep bringing up the Bible. And it's like, and they're like, oh, no, I'm not a Christian. And it's like, and then finally when Thrills had enough, like he's gotten frustrated, he says, like he'll look at like the count of the people who are in there. So let's say there's 80 people. And he'd say, he's like, so-and-so, are you going to denounce your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in front of these 80 people right now? And some of them would be like, well, no, he is my Lord and Savior. It's like, oh, so you've been a Christian and just been lying that you're not a Christian. And some of them would just be like, what? Why would I need to do that? Like they'll do anything but say the words.
Exactly.
Like what I used to do is just go, hey, are you a Christian? And then they would go, nope. And then I'm a believer of.
Did we lose you, Board? Uh-oh. Oh no. Blender happened. Well, we'll say hi to.
Oh no, I had a phone call. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I'm
Okay.
sorry about that.
No worries.
So yeah,
Okay, what were you saying?
I'd go, hey, are you a Christian? And they'd go,
Thank you,
no,
Father.
I'm a believer. And then I'd go, oh, okay, so not a Christian, right? And then they'd go, nope. And then I'd go, okay, see you later. And then they'd immediately request, and they'd go, well, some people could call me a Christian. And then I'd go, okay, well then I want to talk to you, because like
I love that.
I'm asking questions to Christians. I want to have honest conversations with people. And if we're starting off with like this kind of foolishness, then we're not going to have a good combo,
She ain't got time.
Let's just cut to the quick.
Yeah, you ain't got time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, hey, Soy Sauce, how you been? It's been a minute.
I'm okay.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, happy to hear that. I'm glad to see you. And then we have someone I haven't met before. This is it's just Ellie. How you doing? Are you well, first of all, I got to make sure you're at least 18. Are you at least 18?
Yo, it's just Eli.
Eli. Okay, just Eli. 18. All right. And are you a believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I am a disciple of Jesus Christ.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, these are all my friends. So what's your best evidence that God is real?
Me? Okay. Well.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
The rest of us are kind of not believers. So yeah.
So y'all don't. Okay.
None of us do.
For sure.
Yeah, we won't really like gang up on you. Some people might have their own questions, but yeah, we're all
no,
pretty
for sure.
chill.
I mean, y'all can if y'all want. It's all good. No,
okay, we're all pretty chill. So we're all right, Eli. Yeah. All right. What you got?
All right. So my evidence of God's existence would be science and history. Science points to the existence of God, and history points to the existence of a man named Jesus Christ, born of Nazareth.
Well, let's take them one at a time. Yeah, we'll start one at a time. Which one do you want to go with first, history or science?
I would say science, and I would bring in an objection that it would be scientifically illogical if God didn't exist. I think it would be harder to explain why God doesn't have to exist than for me to explain why he does.
Okay. And in what way? Like, why would it be illogical scientifically to conclude that God doesn't exist? Which science doesn't say, by the way, but I'm just kind of entertaining what you're saying. Why would it be?
I think that, I think because, oh man, I don't know how to articulate it well.
It's all right, you got time. Take your time.
It's because for the creation of the universe, you can't have nothing. You can't have something from nothing.
Okay. Scientists agree with you on that, right? Scientists totally agree. 100%.
Yes, you can't have something from nothing.
Okay. Well, then, if that's the case... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. My bad.
No. You got a question for sure?
Oh, no. I was just going to ask you, scientists agree with you. Like, that's almost like universally accepted in the science community.
Exactly.
Why is it then that they don't conclude, they don't go to the next step that you have and say, therefore, a God exists?
because I think that, well, I don't know. I personally think that people have all types of reasons to not believe in God. I think it could just be a spiritual denial of clear facts.
Spiritual denial of clear facts. Okay.
Spiritual denial of clear facts. I think that people can be shown clear, objective evidence and proof and facts of Jesus' divinity and God's existence, and they will still deny it. And I can say that because I've out of experience.
What's an example of a clear fact?
A clear fact would be something objective that you cannot deny.
Right. And of God, or Jesus or God, what's an example of a clear fact that God exists or God is real?
An example would be the proof of Jesus Christ. That would be a clear fact of God's existence. The fact that Jesus Christ lived, and that is a historical proof that even atheist scholars have agreed on, that a man from Nazareth was crucified at the age of 33.
Okay, so if we've got this, so we kind of switched to historical because you did say there's historical evidence of Jesus, but that's okay. We can do that.
I'm sorry. I jumped.
No. You're good. You're good.
A lot.
You're good. Go ahead, Hammy.
I have a question. Yeah. You brought up this something from nothing. What does it mean to have nothing?
To have nothing would be I can't explain nothing to you. It's just the absence of something. Nothing is just an absence of something, bro. Like it's just a void.
So are you familiar with the Lambda CDM model of physics?
No.
Okay. And in this is what is colloquially known as the Big Bang, right? Where we have a hot, dense state that then we have the mass expansion of the universe. So it doesn't ever make claims to anything before the hot, dense state. So where do we get that science or people who are scientists would sit there and would argue that something came from nothing? Because a hot, dense state still means something's there. So it's something from something.
So what is your question?
Like, where do you get this idea that people say that?
That people say that
from nothing.
I don't. It's just something I hear online on social media, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's not something I hear like actual scientists say.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, and that's kind of why I began with scientists agree with you, like everyone does. Now, but then we can kind of take it a step further. Like when we think about like the idea of God, what did God create everything from?
Where did God create everything from?
Yeah.
From his word.
From his word? Okay. And so, okay. And then, but like you understand that like word doesn't, like what materials did he use? Did he just say his word and then things just popped into existence?
Yes, because God is not within time. He is not within our space. He is not within our reality.
Okay.
For those things to have to come into existence, they would have to come from a source. Those things aren't eternal and have always existed. Something would have had to created those abstract concepts.
Did he create time and space then?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, and what did he create those from? Like what materials? His word.
I can't.
That's his word.
Well, because time and space aren't a material thing. You can't make those things out of anything.
Okay.
But he made
what about matter? Like material things.
Matter. He's God. He can create as he will. It's kind of like you're limiting God. It's like,
well, no, I'm not limiting
like
God.
saying,
I'm asking where. No.
My bad, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's like what you're doing. I'm saying like that question kind of lowers God, saying that he can't create things from nothing.
No.
Though he is almighty.
I didn't say that. What I'm asking is, what did he create it from? Because you said you can't have something from, you can't create something from nothing. You can't have something from nothing. So I'm asking, what did he create these things from? Like matter, like atoms, for example. What did he create those from?
that law of science doesn't apply to something that's not within our realm of existence. That law of science doesn't apply to something within our laws of science. You feel me?
Okay.
It's like God, he created everything from nothing, from himself, from within himself, from within his own word, because he is
Just
God.
something from nothing.
Isn't that something from nothing?
But
Yeah,
you're
I was
missing
just-
the point. You're missing the point.
Oh,
What
You're
am I
missing the
missing?
point that God isn't within our reality, and that doesn't apply to him. He
Okay.
created that law.
So God can do contradictory things.
It's not
So
contradictory
if somebody
within
if somebody
himself.
were to ask you something like, could God create a boulder so heavy even he can't lift it, you would say, yeah, he could.
No, I would say that's illogical.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So then is it logical to say you can't get something from nothing, and then when someone asks, well, what did God use? Oh, well, he used nothing to create something. Is that logical?
No, it wasn't that there was nothing at one point. There wasn't nothing at one point. For this universe to have been created, there has always had to have been something. Because for this universe, it couldn't have came out of nowhere. It had to have come from something. It couldn't have come from nothing.
Okay.
And that point of origin of something is God.
Okay. So God is but then that means that God is the point of origin. That means that there was before. So God is the point of origin, and he's the something that you're talking about.
Yes, he is the eternal point of origin.
Okay,
yes.
and what is God made of then?
God is not made. He is not within our realm, bro. He's immaterial.
I know. He's immaterial. Okay. He's immaterial, which means like thoughts are immaterial, right? Thoughts are immaterial.
Yes.
Gravity's immaterial. Time is immaterial. Space is immaterial. Yes. So those aren't made of anything. So that means God is made of nothing. If he's immaterial.
No, you can be immaterial but still made of something. Spirits is immaterial, but it's still something. Energy is immaterial, but it's still something.
Well, energy is because if you're talking about mass, because mass converts into energy converts into mass converts into energy, right? But before it becomes mass, it's just energy. It's just nothing. It's just
energy. Energy is just the ability to do work.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That's all it is. Now it can convert into mass, like scientists have demonstrated that. They've discovered that. That's general relativity, right? Equals mc squared.
Okay.
So those are interchangeable. Yeah, I got you there. Yet it's, but you're right. It is immaterial, but it's not made of anything. There's no properties really to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no physical properties to it. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah. So I guess so, like the something from nothing. Yeah, it does seem like
it just seemed like something
like a special rule for God. Yeah.
No, I would say I apologize. I wouldn't say the universe came from nothing. I would say the universe came from God because the universe came from God because the universe had to have some sort of energy. Because, like I said, it couldn't have come from nothing. It had to come from something.
Yeah, exactly.
That point of origin. Yes, and for time and space and energy to. Damn, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I watched the whole video on the explanation, but I forgot. For time and energy and science to come into an existence in one clause, the clause of that would have to be.
So, what makes you think that it came into existence at one clause?
Yeah.
What, time, space, and energy?
Yeah, what makes you think that it came into existence at one clause?
Because they're not eternal.
How do we know that?
Well, how do we know that?
Because scientists have come to an agreement that there was a beginning of the universe.
So
hold that thought. No. Go ahead, Hammy. I'll pull up the survey, Hammy.
Yeah.
But you keep talking. Go ahead.
So the thing is that they actually haven't. They Trust is going to bring up the survey, but they agree that the Big Bang was the start of the expansion. However, they don't agree that means that it was the beginning. And not only that, but whenever it comes to energy, like the very first law of thermodynamics, which is also known as the law of the conservation of energy, it states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just changes forms. So something can't be created and something can't be destroyed. What would that mean?
That's interesting. I wouldn't say that it's eternal because it can't be created or destroyed. I wouldn't say that's the same properties as eternity.
Well, if eternal means that it has no beginning, it has no end, right?
Yeah. Don't think that our created have a beginning?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that time is not created. I'm sorry. I don't.
Here. Oh, I love that you brought up time. For starters, we're gonna have to agree on what we classify as time. So, I classify time as basically a change in states.
Sorry, Hammy, can I stop you right there real quick? Just want to pause and pull up the survey. Yeah, I just want to show you the survey. So this is the survey that I was referring to, guest. Should be above my head. Oh, I got to make it a little bigger. Give me 1 second. Oops, not that way. Nope, not that way. Is it control? No, not that way. It must be alt.
It's alt.
Yep, it's alt. There we go. Okay. Can you see that, Eli?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
It's very
yeah, it's kind of small, but
you're good, bro. You're good.
Okay. It's the reading of the Big Bang. Okay. So essentially what this says is a theory that says the universe evolved from a hot, dense state that says nothing about whether there was an absolute beginning of time. So this is the Copenhagen survey that was taken in late 2024 of physicists. And so 68% of them say that the Big Bang does not mean that there was an absolute start of time or the start of existence. It just means it was an event that happened.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, so it's not, so they disagree with you.
Okay.
With what you just said.
So scientists believe that there was energy even prior to the Big Bang.
Yeah. That's what the evidence points to.
They're just basically saying that they make no stance on whether or not that's the beginning of like the energy's existence, right?
I see.
But when we're talking about time, would you agree that time it's kind of best described as a change in states? So we have, like, for instance, when it comes to like time, like seconds, right? It goes from 1 second to the next. That's a change from 1 second to the next second. Would you agree that time is a change of states?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you agree that going from not thinking about something to thinking about something is a change of states?
Change of state. From thinking, yes.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. And would you agree that going from not making something to making something is a change of state?
Yeah. What are you defining state as? Just like a state of being? Just like
a state is just like a I guess you could call it a state of being.
Yeah. Okay.
Would that be accurate, Trust?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, state of being.
Yeah.
Like state is like
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then yes.
So-
yes. To create something is to yeah.
Yeah, so God had to go from not thinking about creating to creating. Then he had to go from not creating to creating, all which takes a change of states, which we've agreed is time. So God is working within time. So how can God create time if he's working within it?
I disagree. So you said
Well, hold on.
So you said
which premise do you disagree
a
with?
change. Time is a change in state for him to be doing those actions.
So here,
meaning he has to be
as a matter of
working
fact, I will. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll break it down in syllogism form. Right. Premise one. Time is a change of states.
Okay.
Premise two.
Okay.
Going from not thinking to thinking is a change of states.
Okay.
Premise 3, going from not creating to creating. Well, actually, no, that would still kind of fall into premise 2.
You
So-
just want to make P2 going from not creating to creating is a change of state?
No,
You just wanna do
okay,
it that
Yeah,
way?
get
that's
it
fine.
now.
Yeah,
I get
going
it
from
now.
not creating to creating is a change of states. Conclusion would be that creating something takes time. Do you disagree with any of those?
I disagree
premises?
that time is like is a change of state, because I think that you can act outside of time, and I think that's what God did.
Besides God, can you give us a example of things that happen outside of, like changes that happen outside of time besides God?
Changes outside of time besides God.
Yeah.
Outside of, no, I cannot.
Okay. So how do we know then that God can do this outside of time then?
Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's just what my Bible says.
That's what your Bible says? Okay. Because the Bible says so. Okay.
So look, you can't. Cause look, bro, I'm
So-
not gonna lie to you. I can't articulate. I'm not.
So let me
What's
ask
up,
you
bro?
something.
What's up, bro?
In order to do anything, like there has to be a before it and an after it, correct?
I think he can eternally do something.
Eternally do something. So,
Yes.
so then the earth and everything is eternal.
No, I just think you can. I think it's possible to do something for an eternity.
Okay.
You said that there has to be a before and
So
after to do
if he's
something.
creating, if he's eternally creating, then why is it that like the
Wait, are you
entire
talking about?
expansion?
My bad, bro. Are you
has-
talking about in terms of him creating or just doing things? Because you said like
I'm
doing
saying
things
like,
before
well,
and
the
after.
thing is like whenever it comes to like doing anything, there is a before you do it and an after you do it.
There can be, yes.
Where do you see any exception to that rule? Where do you see where you can eternally be doing something?
Through Jesus Christ, He is eternally begotten.
Okay. Outside of the Bible?
Outside the Bible.
Outside of
where
the
do you see
Bible,
that?
no. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so we have no other existence or other examples of where you can eternally do something. So whenever we say, but this here, like when we use that as the standard, we do not ever see outside of the Bible, we never see any kind of eternally doing something. And then whenever you say, but when it comes to this specific thing, this thing I hold special, I believe that can go that rule can go out the window. Do you know what we call that?
Yeah, there's a term for that. I'm having a brain fart.
It's called special pleading.
Okay.
It means that you are pleading a case that the thing that you like is special when it comes to this being a rule for everyone else but this thing.
Okay.
And we need to and the thing is I could let you have that if you give an actual reason why we should.
I got you. So I'm gonna say that I am not educated enough scientifically. I think
all
that it is possible. Now, now here's the thing. I think it is possible to scientifically prove God's existence. I just don't think I'm capable of doing so.
Okay, that's fair.
I want to throw one more wrench in it before we call it.
Of course,
quits
bro. Oh
on
no, I
this.
don't even want to close. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
What if the universe exists eternally?
If then what?
It's a never-ending cycle of mass expansion and mass contractions.
A never-ending cycle of mass. Well, then it had to start from somewhere. No, can't be eternal if it started from somewhere, right?
Why not? Why can't it be eternal?
Why can't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't it?
Because it didn't. Because the expansion started at one point.
Yeah, but if it was an event, like in an eternal universe, if just an event that happened. Like, because then that would be kind of the same thing as saying, well, God must have started because he started existence. So he must, because it had to start from somewhere, but you wouldn't say that, right? It's just God just existed eternally and then started existence at one point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why couldn't it be the same for the universe? I think that's what Hammy's asking. That is what you're asking, right?
Okay. Because God, unlike the universe itself, it's in the universe. God is outside of the universe. It's like the hidden. Wait, I don't think I'm understanding your question. What?
Well, so the thing is we have two competing hypotheses here.
Okay.
You believe that the Earth was created by an eternal being.
Uh-huh.
On the other side, we have the universe itself has always been eternal.
Okay.
Now, those two eternal things could be plausible. Both of them could be plausible. However, you're saying that one is not, and we're trying to figure out what's the difference between the two hypotheses.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for that. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
no good.
slow.
No worries.
That
no
makes
worries.
sense.
Yeah. No worries.
Well, I couldn't provide any scientific evidence as to why, bro. I could only tell you why because the Bible says in the beginning God created. That's the only reason I could tell you.
Okay. That's
now there is a scientific reason why. I just can't provide it for you, man.
Okay, that's fine. Do you want to?
We'll say. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and finish up because I'm thinking we got 6 minutes left and but go ahead and finish what you were saying. I'm just saying maybe we'll get to his other thing, the historical part. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the last thing I'm going to say is that the thing is like whenever it comes to infinites, we tend to because a lot of the time the argument is that we can't traverse an infinite, and yet we do it all the time. Like I live close by Galveston, Texas, and to get from Galveston to Houston, there's a halfway mark. And between that halfway Galveston and that halfway mark, there's another halfway mark. And I can continue that ad infinite.
Right.
But I can still get from Galveston to Houston, no problem. So we traverse infinites all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the last thing I'm going to say about that. And then we can get to the historical stuff.
Yeah, just something to think about. But yeah, we got like 5 minutes and change left. So I wanted to kind of address that other thing. So because you said there's historical evidence of Jesus, right? And so let's just say that we accept what you're saying is true. I got no issue accepting that as true. How do we know that Jesus resurrected and from the dead and then then ascended into heaven? What's the evidence of that?
Was the evidence of his resurrection?
And his ascension.
The evidence of his resurrection would be the authenticity of the gospel in the Bible.
The authenticity of the gospel?
Yes. The Bible is that evidence because the Bible is historical documents.
Okay.
And then I can prove that the Bible is historical documents.
Okay. So I think I agree with you. I would say it's historical in nature. They say the same thing about the Bhagavad Gita, which is the holy book of Hinduism. So that makes Hinduism true, right?
No.
Well, wait a minute. It's the same exact thing. So how come it makes yours true and theirs not?
So because they say that the book of Hinduism is
there's historical references in there. There's historical places, historical people. Yeah, all that stuff. It's the same, and it's actually older than the Bible. Yeah, it's a lot older than the Bible. So by what you're saying, that makes Hinduism true.
I would have to see that myself personally, but it's not the it's
yeah.
The difference is that there's people who confirm the authenticity of the Bible. There's no people who confirm the authenticity of the Hindu scriptures.
It's not true. Yeah, there actually are.
There's no liable. No one liable.
No, there is. Like, for instance, it makes references to historical people that we can actually verify.
Yeah, we can verify that they existed. Yeah, in the Bhagavad Gita. And there's like places, in the Bhagavad Gita that were verified to be true. There are wars that happened that are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that are verified to have actually happened. The same thing that we can do in the Bible. Yeah, all outside the Bhagavad Gita, which we can do with the Bible. We've verified like wars that have happened, kings who have ruled, places, etc. So
Well, then at that
same
point,
level of evidence that you're, yeah. So then that
at
makes
that point,
Hinduism true.
no. At that point, those events in the book, if you could confirm those people and those events and stuff, then most likely they transpired. It's just the spiritualistic part would be true, or would be not true. I mean, like if they're,
then the spiritual part. Then how do you verify then? Because I think what you're saying is that the
Yeah, that's a
Bible is
good
more
question.
spiritual than the Bhagavad Gita.
No. That's not even what I'm, bro. You're giving good consensus.
Some food for thought.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, and okay, look, bro. I'm studying to be a Christian apologist, bro. So this is like excellent practice. I'm not gonna lie. This is very, very excellent. I would say, damn, man, I don't want to take your time, bro. I'm sorry.
You're doing fine. No, this is a good talk. This is a good talk, Eli. But yeah, and really appreciate the talk, man. Yeah. But hey, enjoy the rest of your day. But hey, you know what? When you read up, come on back and let's talk more.
Yeah, for sure.
Sound
I'm gonna
good?
give you a follow, bro. I'm gonna give you a
sounds
follow.
good, man.
You'll definitely be seeing me again. I appreciate
right.
you guys for your patience, man, being kind and
Absolutely,
stuff
Eli.
like that.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for, man. We match energy, man. You were just the same. So keep doing that, and you're gonna be fine, man. We'll talk to you
Had you
anytime.
came up here and been like, ha ha, you stupid atheist, we would have matched that.
Yeah.
No,
We've
see,
been
that's
like-
ignorant. That's
we've been
ignorant.
like,
right there.
seriously?
Thank you.
think that the Bhagavad Gita doesn't make sense? Oh, blah blah blah, and we would have went off on you just like you would have went off on us.
Exactly. So
No, man, I rock with you. I appreciate y'all, man.
right
for
on,
real.
man. Keep that energy, and yeah, you're welcome back anytime, brother.
All right, for
man.
sure. All right, I'll see y'all later, man.
Have a good one. Take care.
All right.
That
Nice.
was really that was a pleasant one.
Yeah,
I
that was
gotta say.
nice. Yeah, that was W for the guest. Absolutely, Annika. Yeah, W for the
W
guest.
guest.
W guest. That's the kind of guests we like. Even if they have like outstanding arguments and they match us, point for point and all that. Man, if they came with that energy every time, this would be such a great. I mean, be boring ass live. I know that for a fact. Probably have like 20 people in here, but the fact that he came at us like that, oh man, I'll take that any day. So
I especially love it that over someone who would come up here and be like, "Why are y'all demon possessed?" I'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna have that kind of conversation."
Okay. It's like that. Okay, exactly. So I'm all good with it. All right. I think it's time to close it up because we're gonna do a raid on Godless Engineer, but I got one mod who's in, and I'm gonna bring up more mods so we can you can say goodbye to my mods and say hey, and
I have Godless Engineer for going on 10 years now.
You've known him?
Okay. Well, not like I like. It's not like we live in the same area.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Sorry. The baby made me have to stop what I was saying because
My
if
bad.
the baby
No
says
problem.
hi, you have to say hi back.
You absolutely have to say hi. Like, why wouldn't you say hi? Right?
This is a transcendental law.
Exactly. It is transcendental law. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yes, Jessica's little. That's so cute. So Blaster Master 80 on the YouTube side. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You that's awesome. That's amazing. And I invited some more up, but they're busy doing their own thing, and that's okay because we have Soy Sauce up here, who has returned to us like the prodigal mod.
Yeah, return to the fold.
The prodigal mod has returned to us, so you're always welcome back. We welcome you back with open arms. So
Yeah,
thank you for all you do.
I was studying a lot and got rejected from the program, unfortunately.
Yeah, I heard. I'm sorry, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. You got plenty of time. You can try again, right? Hopefully, you can try again. I think you got a few more tries, right?
Yeah, I'm planning on applying to other colleges.
Okay.
Like a lot of them require a pretty high GPA.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, big W for for keeping your head up. So keep your head up and just keep going, man.
You know, they say, well, if first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be
a lot
fine.
of
Yep. We're looking forward to the day when you're like, I got in. I did it. I got in. That's going to happen.
And we will be in your corner to cheer you on every step of the way once you get
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then I have friends that are wanting me to go to their church because they're saying it's not like the Catholic church that I went to.
Don't do it. No.
No.
I'm just like, I don't know.
How long has it been since you deconstructed from your faith?
Probably a few months.
No. After 2 months, no. I would definitely say don't do it right now.
No thanks.
Like, I've been an atheist now for going on, it's been like 10, 11 years. And it took me a long time to go into a church after I became an atheist. I've been in one since then, several times, but yeah, not so soon after your deconstruction.
Oh man, I see I know scriptures you don't, and I'm really tempted. I know scriptures you don't. You want to come up for a few minutes and talk? I see it. I know. I'm telling everybody about to say bye, but then I see this. Actually, no, we'll do it for next time because we got bigger fish to fry. But I know scriptures you don't. Come on back another day and we can talk. Because we got people to raid.
Oh, go ahead.
One thing with the last guest who is so pushing about like spirituality and how that plays a big part in your faith. In my opinion, like faith is very much like personal and it's like super hard to debate it, which I give points to a lot of these people that actually come up here and debate it, just because like it's really hard to debate something that's like super personal and that doesn't have a lot of evidence for and stuff like that. Because like a lot of religions that use like a spiritual or like some sort of god, it's like super personal and it's like personal experiences, and that's why they believe in that, and you can't debate personal experiences. And like that's like the main debate that most people have. So it's like, it is also, it can be a form of brainwashing as well. I mean, in something that I was learning in my class is religious psychosis is very much a real thing, and it's something that people don't look into as much as they should.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the biggest challenge with that, soy sauce, is that if faith is evidence of the truth of your belief, then that means every belief is true, because every religious belief requires faith. Yeah. And then that means that everything is true. That means Hinduism and all the religions are true. And then if everything's true, then nothing's true. So
that's why they have to say this is the only truth, or give some sort of punishment for not believing in this religion that doesn't have like if you say you're the only truth, there should be a bunch of evidence and there shouldn't be a punishment for non-belief.
Should be obvious and clear. Exactly. Yeah. They just persuade their minds they have the Holy Spirit. Yeah, exactly, Inika. So absolutely. All right. So we're gonna raid Godless Engineer. And
Speaking of him, to answer your question, since I started on YouTube before I came over to TikTok, I knew him through the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty big on YouTube. Yeah, he just came over to TikTok recently because I was watching him on AXP, like on ACA, on all the shows on ACA, all the ACA shows. Yeah, he's been a regular on those for years. Yeah, and so he's among the people that I'm like, okay, I can do this. Okay. So he kind of inspired me to take the leap, him amongst other people, a whole bunch of people did, but he was one of them. So the fact that he's like up in my live, I'm just like, I'm fangirling a little bit, So
John's really good people. He's very kind. He took the time whenever I was just getting started to have a private like interview with me, so where I could pick his brain on some stuff. So that was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna raid Godless Engineer, and then later on, we're going to show some love and support for Amadeus Almighty. If If you weren't here earlier, Amadeus Almighty lost his son unexpectedly, his young son unexpectedly.
Oh my gosh.
So his partner Storm is putting together like a bit of a fundraiser type thing. So I think it's just the support. If you can't give, that's okay. I think just showing up and supporting is like a big thing too, because then that'll cause more people to show, and then those who can support financially can do that. So I think just presence is the biggest thing that we can do. So I know that starts at like 20 minutes, so we can pop into Godless Engineers for a bit, show some love there, and then we can gravitate over to Madam Storm is the other one, but Godless Engineer and then Madam Storm. So that's what we want to do.
I became friends with Amadeus Almighty and Storm from Twitter during my YouTube days.
Huh,
yeah, as a matter of fact, whenever I saw him on live one time, I was like, you started off over there on Twitter, didn't you? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's where I remember you from. He's like, oh, hey man, and then we connected on here now.
Yeah, I just met him here on TikTok. Yeah, I just met him like when I first started. Yeah, and he was like one of the first creators I met, and I would just chill in his live and talk and all that stuff. So yeah, very kind person as well. So yes, so let's show them some support as well. So okay, so I'm gonna close it up. I'll see you guys over at Godless Engineer. We'll do a TBV raid over there, and both ends, YouTube and TikTok. So we can hit Godless Engineer from both ends. How about that? All right.
Oh.
Pause.
You see, look, he always ends his videos like this. So I'm going to say, stand up and use your voice by going over there and seeing him.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So, okay, I'll see you guys over there. And thanks again for, it was a great week, great live today. So have a great weekend, guys. And I will see you on Monday. So take care, everybody. See you over there.
Goodbye.